Chapter 231. Mingwei Xiaoxue absorbed Alex. This immediately became a big news in Miracle City. It attracted hundreds of onlookers at the first time. Mao Mingming was surprised. Wow, it's unbelievable. In the end, it was Sister Mingwei who did it. Sanju, this girl did a really good job this time, far beyond the expectations of us old guys. Higanbana said, this is the first time that the Dark Prototype chapter has been opened. I don't know if it can explode top-level loot. Black Light is a paid secret realm. There is a big gap in popularity compared to other secret realms. But there are many masters who are interested in this secret realm. Mingwei Xiaoxue is not very eye-catching among many challengers. Although the exploration progress is very fast, she is not the fastest adventurer. Fengyan Haoxia, Baita Jusher, Feng Zhongyan, Green Skin Bully, etc. At least 7 or 8 people reached the final scene faster than her. The earliest and fastest Fengyan heroes have been fighting for half a day, and there are more than 10 adventurers who entered the final scene at the same time as Mingwei Xiaoxue. Among them, there are many experienced, top-notch and highly reputable adventurers. No one expected that the newcomer would defeat the great Devil Moser in the end. For a moment, people sighed. Nancy Leah, Cat Mingming, White Deer and other adventurers who have a particularly good relationship with Mingwei Xiaoxue all showed joy. Although this result is a bit unexpected, it is not a bad thing, because the facts once again prove that young adventurers can also do a lot in Miracle City. This dungeon has unlimited possibilities. Even Lao Ding, who is old, reputable and experienced, may not be the only one to win. When characters like Vizeros, Nancy Leah, and Ran Tianyun were attracted, the Dark Prototype Special was entering the final cutscene. After Mingwei Xiaoxue completely devoured and absorbed Alex Moser, she felt that the power in her body increased dramatically, and some ancient shackles were completely unlocked. She felt that every virus unit in her body was changing dramatically. It was like a volcano that had been dormant and suppressed for tens of millions of years awakening at the same time. This process requires huge energy. When every virus cell in the body is craving for energy, a strong sense of hunger enveloped the whole body. Devour. I want to devour. I want more energy. Mingwei Xiaoxue realized that after absorbing the strongest mother body and the super prototype, the two groups of powerful viruses and genes complemented each other, and a new breakthrough in evolution was taking place. In this process, she lost control of her body. Everything that followed was done by instinct. All the adventurers watching saw a horrifying scene. I saw Brother He let out a painful roar, and his body turned into tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of tentacles bursting out in all directions. Too fast. These tentacles were not big, about the same size as blood vessels, and they spread in all directions in a very short time, and quickly spread to the streets and every corner farther away. One after another, the black light mother nests, the zombies, hunters, fighters, Goliaths and other black light monsters on the streets were all hit and affected by the tentacles. Their originally strong bodies automatically decomposed the moment they were invaded by the tentacles, and finally turned into nutrients that were plundered and absorbed by the greedy tentacles. A moment. The whole city. All the infected, the mother nest, and the black light creatures were swallowed up and absorbed completely, and all the pollution was purified at this moment. The black light pollution that was raging in the whole city became clean in an instant, when tens of thousands of black light creatures were swallowed up and absorbed by the ubiquitous tentacles in one breath. Thousands of tentacles began to recycle and gather together, and finally turned into a familiar figure, and this figure was thin, wearing a hood, gloomy temperament, and sharp edges. This person is none other than Dark Alex. Of course, this image now is what Black Brother automatically transformed into after absorbing Alex. This wave of absorbed energy, materials, and DNA samples are large enough, and finally successfully facilitated Black Brother to complete the ultimate evolution. Nancy Leah couldn't help but sigh. Brother Hayes' strength was originally level 4, 1 star. After he killed Alex Moser, his strength will most likely reach level 4 stars. More than that, Vizeros judged, after Heller absorbed Alex, he might directly reach level 4, 5 stars, and he absorbed all the infected and polluted people in the entire city by himself. Ran Tianyun's eyes also became fanatical. No need to guess. With this kind of power, and this kind of performance, Brother Hay has now entered the level of level 5. Level 5. Miracle City has level 5. After realizing this, Li Jianhan and Lord Gao Yu were shocked and envious from the bottom of their hearts. Li Jianhan said bitterly, "How precious are level 5 materials. Even if we add up several territories, there are not many, especially level 5 monster materials. This is why Ren Wanxiong, Ran Tianyun, and others dare not easily break through even if they have the ability to advance to level 5 territories. However, at this moment, a genuine 5th level character appeared in Miracle City. Gao Yu is also full of envy. Even the quality of monster materials of the same level can be divided into high and low. Even if we can use the help of the family, spend a huge amount of money and connections to obtain 1 or 2 priceless 5th level monster inspiration materials from the Lord's land, and integrate them into our own spiritual sea. But the quality of this kind of 5th level that can be bought is often not satisfactory, and judging from the performance and characteristics of Brother Heller, this is not only a genuine 5th level, but also a rare and top quality 5th level, even the best of the best. The value of such a material may be dozens or hundreds of times that of the same level material. When Brother Hay performed in the final scene, the lords, adventurers, and ordinary people of Miracle City were all stunned. Brother Hay cleaned all the black light pollution in the entire city by himself, and locked every corner, every hidden virus organization and infected person with great accuracy, and absorbed and devoured them. So precise, so efficient, this cutscene was only shown in a few scenes in the game, but it was shown in more detail after the remake of Miracle City. The visual impact of the performance is not much less than the impact of the first nuclear explosion. After absorbing Heger Heller absorbed all the infected people in the city by himself. At this moment, Heger not only has Alex and more than 20 black light purifiers in his body, but also a large number of black light super hunters, black light Goliaths, and even tens of thousands of infected people. Swallowing such a huge target in one breath, the increase that can be generated can be imagined. It is not surprising to break through to the 5th level. From this moment on, a more powerful super prototype was born. Black Brother Heller has replaced Alex, and become the new mother body that can breed various types of black light viruses. A 5th order unit will appear in Miracle City? This is actually not surprising. Although the 4 evils in the heyday of the Sui and Tang dynasties, and Pangu's clones did not show their strength, it is not difficult for adventurers to feel their strength. It's just that the black light prototype is too special. This is a terrifying existence that can survive a nuclear explosion at the 4th level. No one knows how terrifying and abnormal the ability will be after evolving to the 5th level. Not to mention how strong the combat power is. Just talk about the ability to survive and lurk. Its degree of perversion is probably one of the best in the entire Evernight Forest. How can this not make people feel excited? At least when a 4th level adventurer like Wanshan Guheng is already burning at this moment. If you can master the power of this strongest black light original form, you will not only break through to become a 5th level adventurer, but also have the powerful ability to sweep most 5th level adventurers. The final curtain of the dark original form is gradually coming to an end amid the exclamations and discussions of the crowd, and at the same time Mingwei Xiaoxue also received a clearance. Prompt: you have cleared the dark original form secret realm chapter. You have obtained the legendary achievement the strongest black light matrix. You have obtained the achievement San Francisco Savior. You have obtained the purifier medal. This secret realm evaluation, B medium. You have obtained black light evolver, Galloway's spirit. Cleared successfully. The secret realm evaluation is not too high. But perhaps it is because the first pass explosion rate has been greatly improved. This time, a 3rd level 5-star rare named spirit was successfully exploded. Sabrina Galloway is the one with the highest status, and the greatest potential among the evolvers created by Alex in the Dark Original Form chapter. Not as good as Alex and Black Brother Heller. But it is also a very valuable named spirit. Overall, this harvest is definitely not bad. Mingwei Xiaoxue will be able to break through to the 3rd level in a short time. She just needs a powerful 3rd level spirit. And the Black Light Evolver has most of the abilities of the Black Light virus. The combination of the Black Light ability and the ability characteristics of the Leech Queen may produce an unknown chemical reaction, which is enough to greatly increase her infiltration and latent ability. Mingwei Xiaoxue will continue to be the strongest agent of Miracle City for some time to come, playing an important role in various mission operations and territory wars. However, it's not enough. Mingwei Xiaoxue is not very satisfied. If such a spirit is exposed in daily clearance or settlement, it will definitely be the result of smoke coming out of the ancestral grave. But the first pass reward of Galloway's spirit made her feel that it was not enough, and she just happened to have a few marks of plenty at the moment, which could regenerate the evaluation and reward. Should I use it? This is obviously risky. Although activating the Mark of Plenty can improve the Secret Realm score, theoretically there is a greater probability of spawning better loot. But the new loot is not necessarily better than this 3rd level 5-star rare named spirit, and it may be worse than this spirit. However, after hesitating for only a second, Mingwei Xiaoxue decisively activated the Mark of Plenty to regenerate the reward. The first pass opportunity is rare, and it is totally worth a gamble. If you don't try hard at this time, you will definitely regret it for the rest of your life. You activated the Mark of Plenty. This secret realm evaluation, A level. You obtained Black Light Prototype, Alex Moser Spirit. Oh my god. This. My luck has exploded. When Mingwei Xiaoxue saw the newly generated rewards, she was immediately in a state of ecstasy. She obviously never dreamed that she would actually get the most desired Alex named spirit. This is a 4th level 1-star rare spirit. This is almost the most valuable named spirit among all the spirits currently produced in Miracle City, surpassing the Phantom Xingtian in the hands of the other Shore Flower, Demon King Chen Fu. When Mingwei Xiaoxue left the secret realm with the spirit, the whole city was in a frenzy and shock. The White Crane Hermit was overjoyed upon hearing the news. Great. With this spirit in hand, Mingwei, your future achievements will definitely be 10 or 100 times better than mine at my peak. Huashan Guheng's eyes were red with envy. This is such a precious divine spirit, I didn't expect it to be so easily revealed. Angry Chicken, it's a pity that Mingwei got there first, so we can't reveal Brother AI. Blackstone Hammer King, it doesn't matter, even if we can't reveal Brother AI, we can still reveal the same Black Light prototype. Meng Yinxue, even if it is an unnamed Black Light original form, its value is the top-grade essence among the 4th level spirits. After a named soul is exploded, the explosion rate of the same type of unnamed soul will increase. Although AI Gu is very strong. But the ultimate form of He Gu is even stronger. If you can explode He Gu in his ultimate form, then he is truly invincible. The named spirit of Alex that Mingwei Xiaoxue exploded is the 4th level 1-star strength, which is the strength of Alex after the end of the Black Light Advent chapter. Obviously. Just like Ashina Ishin, Alex also has multiple forms. The final form in the main story is level 4, 1 star, while the blackened form in the second part is level 4, 2 stars, and the ultimate form that absorbs his subordinates can usually reach level 4, 3 stars. Theoretically speaking, each form of Alex can produce a version of the spirit. However, there is only one named spirit that is unique. After Mingwei Xiaoxue exploded Alex's named spirit, all other forms of Alex will no longer produce spirits with named characteristics. What will happen if you get another form of spirit after fusing the named spirit? It depends on whether the level of this spirit form is higher or lower than the named soul. If it is the latter, you can directly fuse it without cultivation and directly reach the corresponding cultivation degree. If Mingwei Xiaoxue successfully fuses the 4th level Alex and cultivates to 99%. At this time, she obtained a 3rd level Alex's spirit form. Although the spirit form is of a different level from the 4th level named soul, it does not need to be cultivated further because of the same origin. As long as the contract is made, the spirit resonance will appear. This lower level Alex will directly reach 99% cultivation degree. If an unnamed form of a higher level than the named form is obtained and contracted, the adventurer can transfer the named characteristics to the higher level form. Of course, this higher level soul needs to be cultivated step by step. In fact, when an adventurer has multiple unnamed spirit forms of a named soul, he can adjust and modify the specific named form at will, so as to maximize the increase and effect. Why is the named spirit so valuable? In addition to providing special energy blessing, when it is cultivated to a sufficient degree, it can summon an independent wisdom and personality clone. This kind of spirit resonance, and the transfer of named characteristics are also very important manifestations of value. In short, the birth of Alex's spirit. This is definitely a very significant breakthrough for Miracle Territory and local adventurers. This matter will become a hot topic for many days in the future. Mingwei Xiaoxue, an adventurer who currently has only a 2nd level cultivation, will become one of the most promising, prestigious and promising adventurers in Miracle City. This breakthrough is certainly a surprise. The plot of the Dark Prototype is also talked about by adventurers. Have you noticed that Dark Brother AI in the Dark Prototype always gives people a weird feeling? Blackstone Hammer King commented, although he is the biggest villain in the whole story, he feels more like a teacher. Nanshank, I have the same feeling. If he really wants to kill Brother He, he actually has plenty of opportunities. Black Kite, it's really strange. He never did it from beginning to end. Instead, he watched Brother He defeat his subordinates one by one, destroying his important plans and becoming stronger. Whoa Warrior, even in the final battle, I feel that Brother AI didn't use his full strength. There is always a feeling of deliberately letting him go. Time Traveler expressed his own opinion. It's normal for you to think so. Although it is not explicitly stated in the plot, Various signs indicate that being swallowed by Heller is likely to be Alex's plan to achieve. Cat Ming Ming, why do you do this? The time traveler said, because the instinct and goal of the virus is to continue to evolve. In order to promote further evolution, both Elizabeth and Alex obviously don't mind being swallowed and absorbed and making sacrifices. So, this infection was actually Alex's plan from beginning to end. Brother Hay was the new prototype chosen by Alex from the beginning. This can also explain many details. Every black light evolver created by Alex has a specific job and hidden target, but Brother Hay has been outside the Black Light family from beginning to end. Brother Hay Heller. The members of the Black Light family that they have dealt with have repeatedly shown jealousy and dissatisfaction towards Brother Hay. Perhaps this is why Alex created this large-scale infection, and from the beginning he was creating a large culture dish, just to prepare nutrients for the birth of the new prototype. Let's think a little darker. After Brother Hay Heller devoured Alex, is he really still the original Brother Hay? Although the personality charm of Brother Hay Heller, the protagonist of the Dark Prototype chapter, is not as good as Alex, this story is still refreshing and quite exciting, which makes the adventurers talk about it with great satisfaction. The adventurers are discussing and celebrating with passion and fun. This day's adventure is also coming to an end. During this process, several adventurers have cleared the Dark Prototype chapter. Although they failed to explode the prototype spirit, they also exploded a lot of valuable loot. For example, Ren Wanxiong went through a lot of hardships. Finally, he defeated Alex at the last moment and completed the clearance. Although the honor of first pass was lost, a very powerful weapon thermobaric helicopter was unlocked for Miracle City. This once appeared in the later plot of the Dark Prototype. When the Black Watch realized that the infection was difficult to control, its top leaders decided to replicate Manhattan's one-size-fits-all approach. No nuclear bombs were used this time. Black Watch launched a batch of armed helicopters equipped with thermobaric rocket launchers. Black Watch prepared to use a wave of thermobaric bombs to wash the entire city, so as to burn the entire city into a scorched earth, thereby disintegrating the spread of the virus. Of course, this plan was not implemented successfully. In order to save his daughter, Black Brother Heller destroyed the thermobaric helicopter and destroyed this trump card in the hand of Black Watch. Now the thermobaric helicopter has been exposed. This is a conventional mecha equipment of the third level medium quality. It is powerful and has a wide killing range, enough to become another major war weapon in Miracle City. It is suitable for attacking solid fortresses, and can be used to annihilate large numbers of enemy forces in field battles. Another fruitful day, Chi-Ji made a simple inventory of his income. The adventurers exploded several top-level spirits, including Alex's named spirit, which caused a huge consumption of mental power. This resulted in unsatisfactory mental power income. But just one day's income is nothing. Chi-Ji currently has sufficient mental power reserves, and he also took the opportunity to recover thousands of spirits, including several named spirits and high-quality third-level spirits. At the same time, the new Secret Realm 9 Realms tree also received very good reviews. At present, Miracle Territory can use strong troops and powerful military equipment, and various resources and spirits are almost bursting. As a quasi-third-level territory. In name, it is still a second-level territory. The current overflow of strength is already very exaggerated. So it is time to go one step further and complete a new round of expansion. Can't delay any longer. Today is the best time. The 4th Secret Realm Nightmare Disease Realm and more secondary Secret Realm plans will also be opened in this round of expansion. Soon, the Secret Realm closure time has arrived. Miracle City has also entered the routine closure phase. Although a large number of adventurers cannot spend the night in the Chaos World and have to return to the adventurer's main world, due to the recent construction of a large number of residences and hotels in Miracle Territory, there are still up to thousands of adventurers who can stay in the territory. For them, although they cannot enter the Secret Realm for adventure during the closure of the Secret Realm, it is the best time to rest and hold various activities. Adventurers can conduct various transactions, discussions, entertainment, and commercial activities, and can also perform various territory tasks to earn contribution points. This day, destined to be different, because the moment when the chaos tide recedes, everyone could clearly feel the huge changes. The whole world was shaking, all kinds of energy were extremely active, the sky suddenly turned dark red, the whole world seemed to be soaked in blood, as if a strange filter was added. Everyone could feel it. Some kind of omnipresent restriction was lifted. An extremely ominous and dark atmosphere enveloped. Many young adventurers in Miracle City did not react at once. What happened? This is the Dark Night. Nancy Leah said with a serious face. Today is the day when the Dark Night breaks out, and the territorial laws of the entire Evernight Forest and several large areas around it will become invalid. The Evilwood Forest must have been pent up for a long time. Bezaros also said, today is destined to be an uneasy day for Miracle City. Chapter 232. The Dark Night. As a natural disaster that erupts periodically. From ancient times to the present, countless underground cities have been destroyed in the Dark Night. The environment of the Evernight Forest is complex, and the number of high-level forces is quite large. Under such circumstances, the Dark Night will undoubtedly be more dangerous. The temporary failure of the territorial law. It is the perfect window period for invading Miracle City. The adventurers have witnessed Miracle City grow from a small camp to the present. But they don't know the true background and strength of Miracle City very well, and they don't know that Miracle City has already attracted and reserved a group of top powerhouses. Whether it is Artis, Bezaros, the territorial heroes of the Four Allies, or Chi-Ji himself, they are all genuine 5th level. If Miracle City goes all out, mobilize more than 10 5th level combat forces in a short period of time. As for the 4th level, that's even more, even if you put aside adventurers like Wanshan Guhong who have reached the 4th level strength. Of course, it does not include the undead Knight Akra and other masters who have reached the 4th level under the command of Bezaros. Just the first guardian hero of Miracle Territory, Nancy Leah, plus Elsa, Evelyn and other top elves, there are nearly 24th level units available. If the appropriate assistance provided by the 4 major territories is added, the total number of 4th level combat forces that Miracle City can mobilize may reach as many as 30 or 40. There are so many high-end 4th level and 5th level combat forces gathered together, and Chi-Ji has invested a huge amount of resources in the frantic construction of territory defense during this period, and stockpiled various compulsory, artillery, tanks, aircraft, mecha and other military equipment. How strong is the foundation of Miracle City now? Even if Qianhu City launched an invasion during the Dark Night, even if it had an overwhelming advantage in size and strength, it would not be able to attack the core city in less than a day. As long as the core city is not breached, once the Dark Night is over and the territorial laws are restored, Miracle City can take the opportunity to launch a counterattack and regain some of the lost territory. Today, Miracle City is in the Evernight Forest. It may not be able to confront the top forces head-on, but the strength to protect itself on its own territory is more than enough. And these hidden strengths, it is difficult for adventurers to realize. Even if he had enough confidence in Miracle City, he could not help but feel a strong sense of crisis at this moment. Baihajusher said with a serious expression, for more than half a month, the territory and the Evilwood Forest have been in constant friction, but the Evilwood Forest has not launched a truly large-scale, decisive battle. Sanju, you mean that the Evilwood Forest has been hiding its strength and accumulating strength, just to launch a devastating attack in the Dark Night? Yes. That must be the case. In the past 10 hours, the Evilwood Forest can attack us unscrupulously. Wanshan Guhong analyzed. The Evilwood Forest is a 3rd level dark territory, and the forces in the Eternal Night Forest generally have a high-end combat power overflow. I speculate that the Evilwood City not only has a large-scale 2nd and 3rd level troops, but there is a great possibility that there will be more than one 4th level combat force. Evilwood City is not an ordinary dungeon. This force is directly loyal to the Eternal Night Dragon King. The Evilwood Lord is likely to use this relationship to unite with other nearby feudal lords to launch a joint attack. If so, isn't the situation of Miracle City dangerous? Don't worry, we have already conquered the Black Iron Mountain range in advance. It is an excellent barrier to prevent the dark forces from invading the territory. If the Evilwood Forest wants to attack Miracle City, it must retake the Black Iron Fortress. As long as we defend the Black Iron Fortress, it doesn't matter even if the enemy is powerful. Yes, although the Dark Night is dangerous, it can't last long. As long as the Dark Night ends, the territory will be safe. We must defend Miracle City at all costs. Repel threats to the territory at the lowest possible cost. When the adventurers realized that the territory might be in crisis, they all put away their usual cheerful and happy appearances, and became serious and serious. Miracle City is unique and cannot be lost. This dungeon has become an inseparable part of life for these adventurers. No matter what kind of force, no matter what kind of existence, dare to threaten Miracle City? Then you must die. No matter how much it costs, no matter what kind of enemy we face, we must completely destroy it. Miracle City must be immortal. The adventurers quickly contacted each other to mobilize the organization. Miracle City also issued a related defense mission, and the mission goal was to defend the Black Iron Fortress. Just as the adventurers had guessed, within 5 minutes of the outbreak of the Dark Night, Miracle City gave the adventurers an order to defend the Black Iron Fortress. Okay. Ha ha ha, it's a great deal. We were originally planning to set off to defend the Black Iron Fortress, but we didn't expect to earn a mission by the way. Long live the Lord. Go, go, go! For the eternal life of Miracle City, for our descendants, we must repel the enemy no matter what. From the outbreak of the extreme darkness to the issuance of tasks, and finally the adventurers were teleported one after another, collectively heading to the Black Iron Fortress. The whole process took only a dozen minutes, which was terrifyingly efficient. Lord Chi-Ji did not come out to boost morale and mobilize in person. The adventurers were all eager to fight, shared the same hatred and took spontaneous actions. Are these still profit-seeking, greedy, and unprepared adventurers? It would be a lie to say that Ran Tianyun, Ren Wanxiong and other lords did not envy the enthusiasm and loyalty of the adventurers in Miracle City. Because even if they have cultivated the territory for decades to reach their level, there are still various games and open and secret struggles between the lords and adventurers. When troubles and crises occur in the territory, except for a few adventurers who are bound by contracts, the first thing most adventurers think of is to take advantage of the fire to rob the territory and squeeze out more benefits. The adventurers of Miracle City, whether they are contracted or not, even if they are just tourist adventurers or local adventurers from Thousand Lake City, they all instinctively defend the territory. And this is the difference. Lord Chi really has the aura of a king. Vizeros couldn't help but sigh. This old lich who has lived for 1,000 years, he obviously has never seen such a fanatical and loyal adventurer. Of course, this is not the most important thing. The most important thing is that he has been in Miracle City for more than 10 days in a blink of an eye, and now he has fully recognized the potential and prospects of this territory. Miracle City has the ability to counterattack and rule the entire Evernight Forest. The most rare thing is that the Lord is very cautious. The Eternal Night Dragon King has not noticed this underground city so far. If this battle is a complete victory, the territory will be further developed, and the development momentum of Miracle City will be unstoppable. At this time, even if the various forces in the Eternal Night Forest realize the threat of Miracle City, it will be difficult to kill it. Akra said, Lord Vizeros, since you have completely recognized the future of this underground city, why not win Lord Chi's invitation and take us to join Miracle City completely? The 4th level Undead Knight Akra is one of Vizeros' most trusted confidants. Naturally, he knows that Lord Chi-Ji invited Vizeros to become the guardian of the territory. Vizeros is also very tempted by this. His only concern is that if he accepts Miracle City and assists Miracle City, then it will inevitably affect the layout and ambition of the Pale True Society for the Eternal Night Forest. If it is not handled well in the future, it may cause a new round of conflicts. Vizeros said, I will consider this matter carefully. Let's see how Miracle City responds to the invasion of the Dark Forces today. Akra nodded. Lord Vizeros seems to want to use today's battle as a big test. If Miracle City can successfully defeat the Dark Forces, and even push back the Evilwood Forest, the concerns of this powerful Millennium Lich will probably be dispelled by the strength of Miracle City, and he will join Miracle City without hesitation even if he faces resistance. Lord's Mansion. Han Tung knelt on one knee. He reported to Chi-Ji, report to the Lord, 5,000 Scourge troops, 1,000 Lord's Guards, and 1,000 reinforcements have all arrived at the Black Iron Fortress and are on standby. Among them, the Lord's Guards are supervised by Ashina Jinakairo. We have deployed a total of 2,000 Kobold Spearmen and Dwarf Spearmen in the Black Iron Fortress in advance. In addition, there are 50 tanks and artillery pieces, 30 mechas, and 30 armed helicopters. Captain Perry is in charge of the command. At this moment, the 4 third-level reconnaissance towers on the defense line have all been activated. As long as the enemy enters the Black Iron Mountain range, we will find out at the first time, and the 6 third-level arrow towers, 3 barrier towers, and 2 spell towers deployed in the Black Iron Fortress are all currently activated. Such a strict deployment. What is the difference with the Iron Wall? What Chi-Ji has to do now is to watch the show. This battle is a test of the territory's accumulation of foundation for so long. It is not difficult to see from Han Tung's report that the composition of the territory's participating troops is actually quite complicated. It consists of 5,000 adventurers, 1,000 monster guards, 1,000 territory foreign aid, and 2,000 kobold or dwarf spearmen. There is no need to explain too much about the adventurers. More than half of the 5,000 adventurers are contract soldiers, and the other half are mercenaries. The overall combat power is not weak. In order to distinguish the attributes of the troops, Chi-Ji divided all the troops composed mainly of adventurers into Scourge Legion. Why are they called the Scourge Army? Because the nature of adventurers is very similar to that of players in the previous life, and players are often called the Force Scourge. This is a force that cannot be completely wiped out. As long as the territory is not destroyed, as long as the territory still has resources, then every adventurer is a scourge that cannot be completely wiped out. This force will become the main consumables and main output for the future expansion of the territory and the territory battle. The Scourge accounted for more than half of the troops in this battle, including 1 4th level, 81 3rd level, and more than 1,400 2nd level troops. Because they can be resurrected and participate in the battle many times, the actual combat power that can be exerted is at least doubled. It can be said that, even without external forces, even without defending in dangerous places, just relying on this force to fight head-on, it is likely that they can resist the Evilwood Forest. Because the Evilwood Forest is out in full force, even if the high-end combat power and manpower are still superior, it is not a simple task to cross the Black Iron Mountains in just 10 hours and attack the core hinterland of Miracle City in one breath. In this process, if the Scourge is attacked and confronted, even if the former is defeated due to the disparity in manpower, it can at least delay for half a day, so that the territory can smoothly pass the extremely dark night. In addition to the 5,000 Scourge troops, Chi-Ji also dispatched 1,000 monster guards, 1,000 foreign aid, and 2,000 territory spearmen. The monster guards are not monster soldiers. These 1,000 territory guards were carefully selected in various ways over the past 10 days. They are all the most loyal and brave people in the territory. After Chi-Ji selected these people, then he spent resources to activate the monster sealing altar. Thus, the monsters in the monster camp were sealed in these people, giving them the power of monsters. The difference between these monster guards and monster soldiers is that although the latter are absolutely obedient and loyal, they have no wisdom. The former is equivalent to creating 1,000 human pillars, responsible for the daily work of guarding the territory and public security. Monster guards. On the surface, the number is not large. But these 1,000 guards are not created casually. The monsters that Chi-Ji sealed in the monster guards are generally very suitable for collective combat and battlefield combat. Among the 1,000 monster guards, most of the combat power is 2nd level units, and among them, flamethrower trackers, rocket launcher trackers, Gatling trackers, various types of tyrants, Ashina generals, and lonely shadows are the majority. These 1,000 monster guards are not many, but their power on the battlefield should not be underestimated. As for the 1,000 territory foreign aid, of course, there are 5th level heroes from the 4 major allies, and most of the undead led by Vezaros, but the majority of them are still the elves led by Artis and Nancilia. Don't look at this army as only 1,000. Among them, there are nearly 200 4th level ones. Finally, there are 2,000 miracle spearmen, or more accurately, 1,000 dog-headed musketeers, and 1,000 dwarf musketeers. This unit is the permanent unit of the Black Iron Fortress. Chi-Ji selected a group of reliable people from his people, led by the dog-headed people and the dwarves. Although their strength is relatively average, and they are generally only at the 1st level, they are equipped with various guns and ammunition in the territory. From small to M16 and AK-47. From large to Gatling and rocket launcher. This unit relies on its powerful equipment advantage to guard the Black Iron Fortress for the territory. In addition to the defense of the fortress itself, as well as heavy firepower such as tanks and mechas, and the defense system formed by various extraordinary towers, it is enough to ensure that it is foolproof and will not be broken by the enemy from the outside. In summary, in order to deal with the next battle, Miracle City dispatched a total of 9,000 combat units, plus hundreds of relatively heavy weapons. This unit is enough to resist the invasion of Qianhu City, let alone deal with the dark species in the Evilwood Forest. Chi-Ji didn't want to stop the attack at all, but to take this opportunity to push back and take down the Evilwood Forest at the lowest cost. Of course. Even so, these 9,000 combat forces are still not the full strength of the territory. Chi-Ji couldn't just go out without caring about anything. He had to keep enough forces to guard the main city to prevent various emergencies. Miracle City still has 2,000 monster soldiers, 500 monster guards, and hundreds of elves staying in the main city. Chi-Ji also has thousands of monster spirits in reserve that can be used at any time. With the main city location and solid defense facilities, Chi-Ji stayed in person. No matter what emergencies he encountered, he could deal with them calmly. Miracle City was deployed. After waiting for about an hour and a half, suddenly, several reconnaissance towers sounded the alarm. This means that the Dark Lord army of the Evilwood Forest has arrived as expected. The Scourge army immediately sent out adventurers who were good at reconnaissance to conduct specific detection. Intelligence of various angles and categories appeared on the communication screen at the first time, which cheered up all the adventurers who participated in the war, and at the same time, they felt great pressure. The enemy is approaching from the front. Fuck, this time the scale is super large. The most conservative estimate is at least 15,000 to 16,000. What? At least 15,000? This is the largest scale war we have seen since the establishment of our territory. Is this guy, Lord Evilwood, playing such a big game? Or did he just find a bunch of miscellaneous soldiers to make up the numbers? As the adventurers were discussing, the Dark Army's troops surged in like a rolling tide. This army came into everyone's sight, and judging from the status of these dark combat units, they were not just miscellaneous soldiers, but elite troops from more than one territory. The core and main force of this army. It is naturally the Troll army led by Xiamu Lord Liu. The size of this army alone is about 120,000. In addition, there are 2,000 elite werewolves on the left wing, plus 2,000 elite Tauren on the right wing. Werewolves are agile, good at reconnaissance and raids, and Tauren are thick-skinned and strong, suitable for attacking. The strength of the poisonous trolls in the Xiamu forest is not weak. Now they have 2 third-level Dark Territory elites. It is conceivable that the Dark race has invested a lot in this battle. Although Lord Crazy Claw and Lord Blood Lake did not go to the battle in person, they each sent out the strongest generals in the territory, plus 10 top third-level warriors. Therefore, behind Lord Xiamu Liu at this moment, there are 6 top fourth-level strongmen lined up in a row, 4 of whom are from Xiamu City, and the other 2 are the top generals under Lord Crazy Claw and Lord Blood Lake. This is too exaggerated. When the adventurers faced the Dark Army, they swallowed hard. The adventurers didn't know that there were so many big guys hidden in their camp. When they felt the murderous aura of the Evilwood Lord and the 5 fourth-level strongmen, tens of thousands of elites, they couldn't help but feel a huge pressure. Mao Mingming said, "There are so many enemies." Mingwei Xiaoxua also said with a serious expression, "Judging from the breath detected by the reconnaissance tower, at least 6 have reached the 4th-level strength, and there are estimated to be hundreds of 3rd-level. Even ordinary soldiers are mostly carefully selected, and a considerable proportion of them have reached the 2nd level. Feng Shengyan, is this the strength of the 3rd-level Dark Lord of the Evernight Forest?" Higanbana, "Humph, what are you afraid of? We have a defensive advantage. Even if the enemy has more high-end combat power and more elite troops, it is impossible to break through the Black Iron Ridge, let alone threaten Miracle City. Yes, everyone, work harder, and defend the fortress no matter what. Don't even think about moving forward half an inch. Good, you're here, this is a good opportunity to make a contribution. I was just worried about not having the opportunity to earn contribution points. This time, not only can I fight to my heart's content, but I can also make a fortune." The Dark Army is unprecedented in size. The adventurers are under a lot of pressure. But everyone is confident in the defense of Miracle City. During this period, adventurers have learned a lot of Miracle City skills and obtained a lot of Miracle City's spiritual power. Today is also an opportunity to test the results and various Miracle City abilities in actual combat. At this time, among the foreign aides of Miracle Territory, Ran Tianyun, Ren Wanqiong, Gao Yu, Li Jianhan. These 4 lords each appeared on the scene with 1 or 2 territory heroes. They were originally unable to exert more than the 2nd-level strength in Miracle Territory. Now that the suppression of the territorial law has disappeared, they can now exert their full strength. For the 4 territories, this is an opportunity to perform well in front of Miracle City. Ignis, the chief hero of Tianyun City and a 5th-level warrior, whispered, "The Dark Race has gathered in the narrow area of the valley. My 5th-level secret technique, Doomsday Rain of Fire, can cause large-scale casualties to dampen the enemy's morale." Several other 5th-level foreign aid warriors were also ready to move. Ran Tianyun said, "Don't worry, this is not our war after all, and now is not the time for us to take action. Although I really want to be in the limelight in Miracle City." But artists and other local warriors have not taken action yet. The 4 lords also know that Miracle Territory must show momentum and reputation in this battle, and it is best not to take action too early to avoid stealing the show. In addition to the strong men of the 4 allies, this foreign aid force mainly consists of elves led by artists and undead led by Vazaros, and the latter are now ordinary citizens of Miracle City. Artists, we elves must perform well, and must not be outdone by these dirty and filthy undead. The elves have a numerical advantage. Artists brought nearly 1,000 elves to participate in the war. In fact, The power of this elf alone is enough to resist the invasion of the Dark Army. Of course, the undead are not weak either. Although there are only 100 undead, Bezaros is a full-blooded 5th level, so in terms of the strength of the top strong men, the undead are stronger than the elves. Nancy Leah is also very excited and expectant at this moment, because she knows very well how strong Miracle City is now. There was no suspense in this war from the beginning. The dark race is just a moth flying into the fire and coming to die. Of course. The most important thing is, the Lord talked to her privately. Nancy Leah will be allowed to reveal her identity and use all her abilities. Chi felt that the time was ripe. He regarded the next battle as a major turning point in the strategic development of Miracle Territory. Miracle City could no longer be low-key. Since that was the case, he might as well be high-profile. At this moment, Nancy Leah's exposure would do more good than harm to the development of Miracle Territory. This would not only surprise the adventurers, but also help expand the territory through the influence of the Elf King and improve the efficiency of conquering the Great Forest. Nancy Leah also decided not to hide anymore. She would openly stand up and call on the elves to fight against the Eternal Night Dragon King. Evil with Lord Liu led the army to stop more than 10 miles away from the Black Iron Fortress. This range was outside the attack range of the Miracle Territory defenders. Even if tanks and artillery could barely reach this distance, it would not be enough to pose a threat to the Dark Camp army. Finally, I've waited until this moment. Liu faced the Black Iron Fortress that was just around the corner. He did not feel any restraint at this moment. He could use all his strength, and he also knew that Miracle Territory would definitely deploy heavy troops in the Black Iron Fortress ahead. Whether this battle was a small victory or a big victory depended on whether the Black Iron Fortress could be quickly captured. If the Black Iron Fortress could be quickly captured in a short period of time, then the troops of the Evilwood Forest would have the opportunity to penetrate the heartland of Miracle Territory and destroy the territory in one fell swoop, which would be a big victory. If the resistance of the Miracle Territory troops was stronger than expected, so that the fortress could not be captured in the shortest time, this would result in the Evilwood Forest being unable to break through Miracle Territory in a limited time, and could only seize part of the territory, which would be a small victory. As for other possibilities, the Evilwood Lord had never thought about it, because in his opinion there was no third possibility. Chapter 233. The war is imminent. This is the largest battle between the two territories. It is also a decisive battle that determines the fate of the two territories and the future power structure. Although this battle is also very important, Chi did not personally come to the front line. He did not even participate in the command by possessing himself. He just lay comfortably in the Lord's mansion, served by several maids, and watched the live broadcast with the Lord's vision. There is no suspense in the battle. The process is worth watching. This feeling is like watching a super blockbuster with great visual effects with popcorn in hand, or enjoying a unique and imaginative performance. Xiamu Territory has fought with Miracle Territory for more than a dozen times in more than a month, but has never gained much advantage, and even lost the Black Iron Ridge, a very critical place in this strategic position. However, this does not mean that Xiamu Territory has no gains at all. In these battles, Xiamu Lord has fully witnessed the power of Miracle City's weapons, so although Xiamu Lord is full of confidence in this battle, he is still wary of Miracle City's firepower deployment. He will not rush to attack the city before he understands the firepower deployment of the Black Iron Fortress and is fully prepared. As a kind of fallen troll, the Ghost Poison Troll is not weak. Not only does it have a strong body and can practice various powerful martial arts, it also has dark and poisonous magic talents. Among the Xiamu City troops, the proportion of troll magicians is as high as about 30%. As the number of these warlocks increases, the tactics that can be deployed will become very rich. When Xiamu Lord arrived near the Black Iron Fortress, he immediately deployed at a safe distance, and the trolls immediately began to prepare the formation, and at the same time deployed various totems and crystals to prepare for the attack. Order the whole army. Immediately activate the Blood Curse Mist Array. At this moment, thousands of giant magicians jointly activated the first array. A dark red thick mist that was as solid as substance rose from the middle of the army. This mist is a special energy created by combining alchemy, spells, and arrays. These energies will surround every soldier of the Evilwood Forest, and eventually accumulate to form a barrier that can cover the entire army. The main function is to block the perception of naked eye observation and reconnaissance spells. Once it is unable to perceive and lock, the arrow tower of the Black Iron Fortress will respond slowly. The powerful firepower deployed by Miracle City, once the field of vision and target are lost, the firepower killing efficiency cannot be guaranteed. The most important thing is The blood poison mist created by this array has the ability to ignore ordinary barriers. This means that once the Evilwood army begins to attack the city, even if it is not possible to break through the defense and barrier of the fortress for a while, the poisonous fog will penetrate into the barrier and cause large-scale poisoning of the fortress defenders, greatly weakening their combat effectiveness. When the troll magician continued to cast spells, the poisonous fog continued to grow at a speed visible to the naked eye. This poisonous fog can not only absorb the scale of mana growth, but also increase its toxicity by absorbing vitality. In other words, as the war becomes more intense, the toxicity of the poisonous fog will continue to grow, and eventually play an important role in this war. This is just the beginning. Under the leadership of the Evilwood Lord, thousands of other ghost poisonous troll magicians are also casting spells and setting up formations. Various strengthening effects, various summoning spells, and formation secrets that change the environment are constantly used. Everyone saw that the land around the Black Iron Fortress showed signs of corruption, and various tree demons, skeletons, strange birds, stone men and other monsters drilled out of the earth, which gradually increased the strength of the Dark Army to about 20,000. Obviously, the Dark Army is preparing for war quickly. Summoning monsters will be used as pioneers to resist the firepower of Miracle City. The war in the chaotic world is different from the traditional war. Each race has different talents and spells. Whether it is the attacker or the defender, they all need to consider the game of spells and strategies. Not only that, the dark corruption array of the poison trolls is spreading. Once this array spreads to the Black Iron Fortress, it can weaken the defense of the Black Iron Fortress and make the arrays, prohibitions, and fortifications deployed by the Miracle territory near the fortress invalid. In this way, the difficulty of attack will be greatly reduced. There are many similar means of the poison trolls. If all of them are used, the defensive advantage of the Black Iron Fortress will not be much left, but it is not so easy to use them all. After all, the defenders are not stupid. It is impossible to watch the enemy operate. It takes time to perform these formations and war spells one by one, and it takes a lot of time. At this stage, Miracle City, as the defender, has to find a way to offset and interrupt this process. Almost at the same time as the ghost poison trolls were operating, more than a dozen helicopters rose up in the sky with a roar. Seeing this, several troll generals immediately issued a reminder. This is a unique mechanical vehicle of Miracle City. This thing can not only carry people, but also has a good attack power. Let all soldiers be careful and be prepared at any time. 20 helicopters hovered in front of the Black Iron Fortress. Each helicopter was filled with adventurers. They were equipped with rocket launchers, Gatling guns, and other weapons. They lined up, but did not rush to fire. Higginbana appeared in one of the helicopters. She picked up a loudspeaker and started shouting, "Hey, you idiots from the Evilwood Forest, challenging Miracle City is like a moth flying into a flame and destroying yourself. Now, get out of here with your tail between your legs. This may save your life." The Evilwood Lord sneered. "Who do you think you are? Let the Miracle Lord speak." Higginbana said disdainfully, "Haha, you are a dead bone in a tomb, and you want to talk to the great Lord of Miracle City? If you have the ability, you should get past us first. I'm afraid you can't even get over the Black Iron Mountain. You're looking for death. The dark race is violent. How can we tolerate such arrogance and rampage of human adventurers?" A troll general with a sturdy figure and ugly scars on his face immediately stood up. "Lord, I am willing to lead my troops to kill all these noisy guys." This troll general is called Hunter Bone. He has the strength of the peak of the 3rd level, and is the first person below the 4th level in the Evilwood City. Although Lai Gu is not one of the strongest generals in Siemu City, he is also very prestigious and capable. His strength is even higher than that of the Black Dwarf chieftain He Su who guarded the Black Iron Fortress. However, Lord Siemu is very cautious. Humans are cunning and insidious and may have ambushes. At this moment, the army formation is not yet complete, and the various formations have not been deployed. It is not the best time to launch an attack, so Lord Siemu did not send troops to launch an attack, but instead wanted to delay time. "What? You have the courage to send troops? But you don't have the courage to attack? You are really a group of cowardly rats." Bianhua relied on the loudspeaker to continue shouting, and her tone became more and more arrogant, from the initial provocation to scolding, directly greeting Lord Siemu's ancestors. "You rats of Siemu, since you dare not launch an attack, do you dare to challenge me one-on-one? Challenge me in front of the battle? These humans are so arrogant. Before the two armies fight, they send their generals to challenge each other in front of the battle. This is a common game and test, which can not only test the strength of the other party, but also take the opportunity to hit the morale of the other party. No matter how strong Miracle territory is, it is only a second-level territory, while Xiamu territory is a third-level territory. Therefore, in terms of local high-end combat power, Xiamu City will never lose to Miracle City. The human adventurer actually proposed a one-on-one challenge. Did Miracle City find powerful adventurer aid? However, even if the suppression of the territory law of the Dark Knight disappears, the suppression of the territory core still exists, and the power of other dungeons cannot be used in the main city area and the core influence range. At this time, a figure jumped down from the helicopter. It was a white-haired old man who looked very old. This person was none other than the adventurer Baihajusher of Miracle City. The adventurers saw that the provocation had no effect, so after some internal discussion, they decided to send a few adventurers to challenge, hoping to lure the generals of Xiamu Lord to come out for a duel. If they could kill 3 or 2 heavyweight generals of the other side before the full-scale war broke out, this would make the next battle much easier. The adventurers also wanted to take this opportunity to test their current abilities. Baihajusher was currently located between the Black Iron Fortress and the Dark Army. He glanced at the Dark Army in front of him and sneered. "You Xiamu City came here with great momentum. Are you afraid of even an old man like me?" Xiamu Lord could see that the other party was just a third-level adventurer. This cultivation level is not low, but he still doesn't take it seriously. He knew that adventurers can't be killed. Miracle City's move was just to test him. However, if he could crush and kill an opponent's master in front of the formation, it would be a big blow to the morale of other adventurers. Of course. The most important thing is, this can delay time. Let the troll magicians complete the formation and spells. As long as all the formations and spells are completed, the next battle will be much easier. The Xiamu Lord thought of this and ordered, "Hunter Bone, you go and deal with this adventurer." Yes. Hunter Bone couldn't hold back and wanted to take action. This third-level peak warrior of Xiamu City, whose strength is second only to several fourth-level top combat forces, has never lost in singles with other third-level masters for more than 10 years, so naturally, he would not take the third-level adventurer of Miracle City seriously. Baihajusher looked at the troll warrior who came out. Lai Gu was 2.2 meters tall, with muscular body and scars all over his body. He held a heavy blood-red sword in his right hand and condensed a black energy spear in his left hand, which he threw at lightning speed to attack. Boom! A loud noise. The position where Baihajusher had just stood was hit accurately. The power of this long-range attack was comparable to that of a missile. A large pit was squeezed out of the place where Baihajusher stood, but the adventurer of Miracle City would obviously not be defeated so easily. The smoke dissipated. The old adventurer no longer looked old and frail. At this moment, he had become a middle-aged man with a straight figure, thin but sharp aura, holding a long sword in his right hand and a crossword spear in his left hand. Humph, spirit power? Your adventurer's abilities are really boring. Lai Gu looked at the transformed Baihajusher with disdain on his face. In his opinion, adventurers who fought with spirit power were not real warriors. However, compared with all kinds of strange monsters and monsters, this adventurer in Miracle City was still human. But no matter what he turned into, he must die. I kill you within 3 swords. Haha, it's better to say less big words like this. After Lai Gu used the dark energy spear to force Baihajusher to transform into the third-level form, he immediately released his fighting spirit to wrap around his body, turning into a blood-red tiger, and rushing wildly at a speed that was difficult to see with the naked eye. Fast. Too fast, almost impossible to catch with the naked eye. At the moment when Lai Gu moved back and forth beside Baihajusher, the big knife suddenly swung out in a flash, instantly sweeping out a 10-meter-long giant blood-red blade light. This knife. Very sharp. The power is also quite amazing. This troll warrior is indeed not simple. However, at this moment, Baihajusher relied on the powerful perception and prediction ability of Sword Saint Ashina Ishin, and predicted the attack trajectory almost at the moment of the opponent's attack, so he just made a light move and moved his body to the side. Bang, the blade passed by. It instantly chopped the ground and created a huge cut. Several solid rocks were crushed like tofu in the blade. It was dodged? Lai Gu was very confident in his strength. He knew the momentum and speed of his attack. Once an ordinary third-level master was locked by the murderous aura, it would be almost impossible for him to make such an evasive action, let alone judge the trajectory of his own knife. This adventurer is not an ordinary third-level one. Maybe it's just coincidence and luck. This time, he must be killed. Han Gu once again urged the power of Do Qi, and saw the blood-colored energy wrapped around his body boiling more fiercely, and a roar that shocked the mind burst out from it. The moment Baihajusher made a sideways evasive action, he slashed out another fast horizontal slash that was faster and stronger than before. This time, Baihajusher did not dodge. He still had a calm expression. He waved his hand and used the ninja wolf-style reverse blade technique. With a bang, the two blades collided, sparks flew. Baihajusher did not move at all, and used an ordinary knife to block the powerful slash. Instead, Hyugu lost his balance and stepped back 2 steps. The blade light turned into a blade aura and was ejected. A deep cut was left on the cliff 100 meters away. Impossible. The first knife could be said to be a coincidence. This second knife could not be explained at all. Hyugu felt that his knife was like cutting on cotton. This adventurer used extremely superb force discharging skills to deflect the attack with little effort, which in turn exposed his own flaws and gave the opponent a chance to counterattack. Death. Hyugu did not give Baihajusher a chance to counterattack. He immediately gathered all his blood-colored fighting spirit on the blade and performed his strongest move, Blood Tiger Soul Hunting Slash. The blood-colored blade light burst out and instantly turned into a blood-red giant tiger that chose its prey. The giant tiger fell from the sky and enveloped Baihajusher. This attack was Hyugu's full-strength attack, and its power was enough to easily tear apart the same-level existence. At least so far, no third-level person can escape unscathed from this move. Baihajusher's expression did not change much. When the opponent displayed a powerful sword light, he suddenly summoned the Golden Thunder of Ba, and added it to the 10-character spear and the sword at the same time, and then swung the sword and the spear at the same time. First, the spear burst into lightning to suppress the beast-shaped sword light. Another sword swept out to completely break it. Both retreated at the same time. This round was a tie. However, this was enough to shock the Shiemu Lord and the trolls in the Shiemu Forest. The Shiemu City trolls knew how strong Hunter Bone was. This adventurer was not suppressed when Hunter Bone was at full strength, but tied with him. What does this mean? The adventurer also has a third-level peak. This is not an ordinary third-level peak. He is definitely a top master in the third level. You are really not simple. No wonder you can kill the waste Heisu. The Black Dwarf chieftain Heisu mentioned by Hyugu is the leader who originally guarded the Black Iron Fortress. If Heisu was defeated by the man in front of him, then he really lost without complaint. Even if he himself. I can't kill him quickly. Although it's very embarrassing, it doesn't matter. It's good this way. The task of the Evil Wood Lord is to delay time, so that the trolls can complete the formation and preparation. The longer this battle lasts, the better it will be for the Evil Wood Forest. It's rare to meet an enemy worth fighting. Hyugu then provoked, "Come on, let me see what else you can do." Baihajusher put the 10-character spear aside, raised the long sword in his hand, and gradually became serious. He said calmly, "I know you just want to delay time, but if you go all out and it's just like this, then I think this battle will soon be decided." What does it mean? Although I admit that this human has some skills. But just as I can't defeat him quickly, he can't decide the winner quickly. Baihajusher didn't give Hyugu time to think, and directly activated the amplification effect of the first and second level soul. When the power of the tank was added to his body, the originally thin body of the Ashina Sword Saint suddenly became thick and strong, with 8 more abdominal muscles. When the power of the Red Ghost was added to his body, the skin of the Ashina Sword Saint, which was originally a little shriveled, turned red at this moment, and his eyes also glowed red. The strength of the Ashina Sword Saint was not weak to begin with. At this moment, with the blessing of the soul characteristics, his strength has increased greatly. Not enough. Blood Awakening. Breaking the extreme weapon. Baihajusher has learned a lot of Miracle City skills recently. These 2 skills of the Arad continent are among them. The former is a skill of the Berserker that can enhance the strength and power of the body, and the latter is a skill of the Sword Soul that can greatly increase the attack power of the weapon. Both are second level. The amplification effect is not weak. Plus the characteristics of the first and second level souls. It is conceivable that Baihajusher can exert his strength at this moment. Hyugu can clearly feel that in just 1 or 2 seconds, the sense of oppression and crisis brought by the adventurer has increased by 50% to 60%. Not good, this guy. He actually hit his strength. Hyugu has been through hundreds of battles, and is very sharp. He immediately made the right decision, which was to keep a distance and retreat at any time. There was no benefit in confronting an adventurer with unimaginable strength. If he lost, his life would most likely be in danger. Even if he won, he could not completely kill him. No matter how you look at it, it is a loss-making business, so there is no need to confront him head-on. Hunter Bone was ready to change his tactics, that is, to keep maneuvering to buy more time, But as he was moving, a very cold breath suddenly rushed into his body. Frost covered his whole body. It became difficult to move. Everyone saw a blue demon shadow being summoned, and a field similar to a formation was formed with it as the center, and Hunter Bone happened to be in this field, so he was affected. Frost saw Yaw. Another skill of Arad. That is the Devil May Cry secret skill commonly known as the Ice Formation. The nature of this skill has changed a lot in Miracle City. It has become a special field that can instantly freeze and affect the enemy's ability to move. The Ghost God Saya can directly attach to the designated target like a curse. Once it is successfully cast, the Frost Saya curse will follow you like a shadow. Hunter Bone is not good at breaking the curse, so he can't break free in a short time, and his ability to move is obviously being affected more and more seriously in the process. Seeing this, Lord Shiamu immediately ordered, "Retreat." Want to retreat now? It's too late. Thunder of Ba. The White Crane Monk summoned Golden Lightning again, leaped up, raised his long sword, and when the lightning fell and wrapped around the sword, he used a thunder to bounce it back and hit Liagu. Boom! Under the cover of the Thunder of Ba. Another layer of paralysis effect. Liagu almost lost his ability to move in a short time. The White Crane Monk attacked again, relying on the powerful Dragon Flash Sword Chi of Ashina Sword Saint, plus the Gigu Sword Art Dragon soaring to the 9 heavens, swept across Liagu's body at an extremely fast speed, and then slowly inserted the long sword into the sheath. This top 5 warrior from Shiamu City stood there in a daze. The next moment, a crack appeared in the middle of his body, and then the whole person was cut in half from the middle. Great fight. As expected of an old man. This swordsmanship is too sharp. Strong, strong, strong. The swordsmanship of the Ashina Sword Saint plus the secret skills of Miracle City are indeed even better. The battle didn't last long, only about 10 or 20 seconds in total. Baihajusher defeated the strongest 3rd-level warrior of Shiamu City very easily, with a nearly overwhelming advantage. This battle also shows that, although the Ashina Sword Saint is already a top-level 3rd-level rare figure, but with the addition of various spirit characteristics and sword skills of Miracle City, the strength that can be exerted now is completely comparable to that of the 3rd-level rare treasure units. And this is the foundation of Miracle City. The Evil Wood Lord originally just wanted to delay time, kill a human master by the way, and rub the spirit of Miracle Lord. But he didn't expect that he would lose a brave general on his side. He couldn't help but get furious, immediately raised the skeleton staff in his hand, and a large amount of black air spurted out from the skull on the top of the staff. In an instant, dozens of black giant pythons gathered and attacked Baihajusher from all directions. The Evil Wood Lord is a powerful 4th-level unit. This move also used the 4th-level secret technique, and the spell of the Ghost Poison Troll was very strange. Belonging to the fusion of darkness and poison, even Baihajusher could hardly resist and defend against it. However, at this time, a figure that no one expected flashed in front of Baihajusher. She released a green light from her body, and all the poisonous giant pythons were evaporated in the air in an instant. When everyone saw the attacker clearly, they were stunned. Cat Mingming widened her eyes. Ah, isn't this Xiuya? White Fawn, why did she suddenly attack? And what kind of spell is this? It's so powerful. Mingwei Xiaoxue smiled. It's not surprising. We have seen it a long time ago. This Xiuya is not an ordinary person. The attacker. It was not someone else. It was Nancy Leah. At this time, the Troll's Dark Corruption Array had been nearly half completed, and a large area near the Black Iron Fortress was corrupted into a swamp full of poisonous gas. But at the moment, when Nancy Leah appeared on the battlefield, with her as the center, a large number of plants grew out. These plants automatically absorbed the corruption and poisonous fog and grew faster. After a while, a sea of colorful flowers appeared near the Black Iron Fortress, and the war spells of the Evil Wood City were temporarily restricted. Is this the purification technique of the elves? Facing the flower sea and grassland that bloomed out of thin air and the corrupted swamp summoned by the trolls, Lord Shiamu couldn't help but show a solemn and surprised look. Could it be that Miracle City has found external aid? The magic of the elves can restrain the poisonous trolls. If there are elf masters in the Black Iron Fortress, this battle will undoubtedly become more complicated. Lord Shiamu asked in a deep voice, "Who are you?" Nancy Leah did not introduce herself. She just announced, "I am the guardian of Miracle City." While speaking, Nancy Leah untied the restrictions on her body. The dwarf freckled girl with ordinary appearance disappeared. Instead, there was a slender and graceful elf girl with creamy skin and long silver gray hair like a waterfall. It's really an elf. Lord Shiamu was shocked. Although he didn't know the identity of the elf girl. But judging from the strength she showed, she was definitely not an ordinary elf. Such an elf actually became the guardian of Miracle City, that is, one of the heroes of Miracle Territory. What does this mean? Lord Xiaomu was shocked. Miracle City has the support of the elves. This was unknown in the past. If Lord Xiaomu knew that Miracle City was backed by the elves, he would not be able to launch such a hasty attack anyway, and he couldn't help but want to retreat for a while. It's still time to retreat now. It's not too late to figure out the situation before attacking. If there really is a large group of elves in Miracle City, then Xiaomu City cannot deal with it, and we must report it to the Dragon King of Eternal Night. But just when the Xiaomu Lord had this thought, something he never expected happened. A troll in charge of reconnaissance ran over in a panic. Report to the Lord. A large number of undead skeletons appeared behind us. What? The Xiaomu Lord immediately launched a reconnaissance spell, and as expected, he found that thousands of low-level summoned undead such as skeleton soldiers, zombies, and ghosts suddenly appeared behind the army. The leaders were high-level undead such as Vazaros and Akru. Not only that, there were also high-level elves such as Artis and Elsa. How could the elves and the undead be together? Could it be the troops from Qianhu City? Nancy Leah saw the panic and confusion of the dark people, and said, "You underestimate the Miracle Territory. The Lord's goal in this battle is not to stop your invasion, but to take this opportunity to annihilate you. When your attention is attracted by the adventurer. Our ambush troops have already completed the deployment behind." It turned out that the reason why the adventurer came out to provoke was mainly to cover up and attract attention. During this process, Miracle City arranged a troop to go around to the rear to form a pincer attack, and now the deployment has been completed. The Xiaomu Territory troops can no longer escape. Chapter 234. Nancy Leah made her first move in public. Many Miracle City citizens and adventurers were amazed at her powerful strength. As for her identity as an elf, in fact, there have been speculations within Miracle City. Everyone is not a fool. After a few months of getting along, we can see the clues. This girl who usually appears in Miracle City as a freckled dwarf is definitely not an ordinary person. Nancy Leah is not only one of the very few people in the territory who can enter and exit the Lord's mansion freely, but she is also the administrator of the secret hall of Miracle City, and her status is extraordinary. How could an ordinary dwarf girl be so concerned and valued by the Lord? Local indigenous leaders such as the flower fairy Iris, the dwarf Jinba, and the dog-headed man Luke all respect her, and after Elsa, Evelyn and other high elves came to Miracle City, they also walked with Nancy Leah all day. At this time, many adventurers have speculated. Nancy Leah's true identity is likely to be an elf. However, what people did not expect or feel surprised about is that Nancy Leah is not only an elf, but her real appearance is so beautiful that she is a rare beauty even among the elves. Nancy Leah can easily break the secret spell of the evil wood lord, and can suppress the war spell cast by the giant magician alone. Her real strength and power are also amazing and admirable. She also announced her identity as the guardian of Miracle City. Every territory has a guardian, also known as a territory hero. Because these territory heroes are highly bound to the territory, their strength will also be affected by the territory. Generally, the deeper the territory, the stronger the strength, and the greater the increase in the guardian. There is no restriction on the origin of territory heroes. They can be adventurers, local natives, or even secondary lords. However, because territory heroes are within the scope of their protection, they can be exempted from the restrictions of territory laws. Lords usually prefer to recruit native strongmen or highly growth-oriented talents born and raised in the Chaos continent to serve as such. In this way, the territory not only gives the territory hero powerful territory power. This territory hero can also fully use his power within the protection range. It is equivalent to having double power at the same time, and this is not as simple as 1 + 1 = 2. In addition, there is a certain probability that local indigenous strongmen will have great luck. After these lucks are bound to the territory, they usually bring various beneficial amplification effects to the territory or the lord. It is not easy to recruit a strongman to become a guardian. After all, the hero and the territory are forcibly bound and share weal and woe. Only when they have obtained 100% trust, loyalty, and recognition can the other party join a territory without reservation. Blackstone Hammer King. It has been several months since our territory was established. Currently, 3 main city cores have been activated, and 2 main cities have been officially used, but the territory hero has never been exposed. Feng Zhongnian. I thought the Lord had not found a suitable candidate, but I didn't expect the hero to be with us all the time. Grumpy Chicken. Wow, Xiaoya is so strong, at least a 4th level boss, we have been wrong in the past. Wanshan Guhong commented, general 4th level people are not so strong. Nancy Leah's methods are beyond the reach of ordinary 4th level people. Higanbana, that's right, the Lord's vision, how could it be bad? I was worried that this battle would be a bit difficult, but it turns out that the territory is much stronger than I thought, and there are so many big guys hidden there. The Evilwood Forest is a piece of cake. Everyone get ready. It's time for the final battle. Don't let any enemy go. Kill, 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 my sword is thirsty. When the adventurer ran out to attract attention, the Elf Elder Artis and the Lich Vezaros have completed their deployment. First, the Elf Elder launched a short-distance collective teleportation formation, and while the attention of the Evilwood Lord was attracted, he quickly teleported nearly 1,000 elves and hundreds of undead to the low mountain behind the Evilwood Lord's army. Vezaros immediately performed a powerful 5th-level undead summoning technique. This technique can directly activate the undead tombs arranged near Qianhu City, awaken skeletons, zombies, and other undead from them, and summon them to the battlefield. With Vezaros' strength, he is enough to form a powerful army. Thousands of undeads are enough to pose a huge threat. But this is not enough. In order to prevent the ghost poison troll from breaking through and escaping, more than 100 high-level elves also joined forces to cast a spell. More than 100 trees, as high as 100 meters, rose from the ground at the edge of the battlefield. These rune trees are connected in series. Finally, a large-scale blockade formation was constructed. Once this barrier formation is activated, it can block the area in all directions. Not to mention werewolves, trolls, and minotaurs. Even a mouse can't escape from this area. In order to break the formation, more than half of the rune trees must be destroyed. At this moment, there are several elves standing on each giant tree. Some of them hold long staffs, and some hold long bows. They are at least 3rd level, and there are many 4th level strongmen. The elves' archery and magic are no joke. It's easy to imagine how difficult it is to break the formation. At this time, the Dark Army's retreat had been cut off, and it was impossible for Lord Xiamu to retreat. He missed all opportunities to issue a retreat order and minimize losses. When everything was ready, the offensive of Miracle Territory officially began. Thousands of undead launched an attack from the rear of the army. Hundreds of elves stood on the commanding heights and shot arrows. Arrows covered with green energy were constantly attacking from the rear, and dark creatures were constantly being shot and fell to the ground. Retreat! Break out immediately. Lord Xiamu sent 3 brave generals to lead an elite force to break out from the rear. Unexpectedly, when several generals led their troops to fight their way out, suddenly one of the leading generals was hit in the head and was smashed like a watermelon hit by a hammer. The weapons in Miracle City are so useful. At this moment, more than 2,000 meters away, on a big elven rune tree, the blonde and blue-eyed beautiful lady elf Elsa stroked the black and thick treasure in her hand with a look of surprise. This is a Barrett M82A1 sniper rifle. This anti-material sniper rifle is a rare 2nd-level firearm in Miracle City. The range is up to 2,000 meters, and the cultivation increase ratio is quite high, at least much higher than ordinary firearms. Elsa is a 4th-level great elf. Her cultivation can produce a great increase. With the elf's shooting talent and the increase in spell effects, its power can be imagined. The second shot, bang, headshot. The third shot, bang, another headshot. Elsa shot one by one, almost without any effort, successively sniped 3 3rd-level peak dark trolls, and then killed 2 3rd-level blood minotaurs with 2 shots, causing the Dark Army's attempt to break through the siege to fall into chaos. The guns in Miracle City are much better than traditional bows and arrows. Elsa felt her blood boiling. She secretly decided to abandon bows and use guns from today. She wanted to build the strongest gun in Miracle Territory and become the strongest sniper in Miracle City when the Dark Army fell into chaos. Various small missiles, rocket shells, and tank shells kept bombarding. Bang, bang, bang. Although the formations and spell shields built by the Dark Army in advance blocked these attacks, such passive defense was obviously not sustainable. At this time, a thermobaric rocket bombarded the defense of the Dark Army. Boom! The thermobaric bomb broke through a shield. The explosion immediately caused damage to hundreds of dark trolls. The Evilwood Lord was shocked and angry. He didn't expect that the war he launched with full confidence would be a huge mistake. The current situation is very dangerous for the Evilwood City. There are undead and elves harassing in the back. The natural disaster army composed of adventurers in Miracle City has already killed to the front. At the critical moment of his life, Lord Xiamu finally made the decision to launch a full-scale attack. Rather than retreating in a panic and fighting the elves who could restrain the dark trolls, and the undead, who could fight to survive, it would be better to fight to seize the Black Iron Fortress in front of him. If he could break into the Black Iron Fortress, there might be a glimmer of hope. Woo! Several ancient troll horns were blown. The Dark Army was blessed by the secret method. Their eyes turned blood red, and blood-colored flames burned all over their bodies. They became extremely violent, and their combat effectiveness increased significantly. This is a kind of spell that squeezes potential and burns cultivation. The side effects are very large, but it can temporarily improve strength, thereby generating powerful explosive power. When the Evilwood Lord unsealed the various bone ornaments on his body, dozens of elite giant magicians around him cast secret spells, and the blood-red flames on their bodies burned violently, and soon burned their bodies into ashes. Please witness the supreme chaos will. The Evilwood Lord took a deep breath, and dozens of third-level giant magicians spontaneously combusted and turned into ashes, which were all sucked into the body of the Dark Lord, and then his body underwent amazing changes. What monster! Kill him quickly! The Evilwood Lord turned into a hideous giant with a height of more than 10 meters, and a blood-red flame burning all over his body. Then he actually rushed out and rushed into the Scourge army like an instant move. Blood flames raged everywhere he passed. Adventurers couldn't even get close. And whether it was guns, sword energy, spells, or other attacks, these attacks on the Evilwood Lord would all be absorbed by the violent flames, and could not cause any damage to him. Die! The roar of the Evilwood Lord contained violent spiritual power, and a large number of adventurers in front fell into dizziness. He randomly swept out sword energy with a blood flame giant sword, piercing dozens of adventurers and burning them to ashes. When the Evilwood Lord absorbed these ashes, in this process, he gained new power. His size and momentum have increased significantly, and his strength and breath are becoming more and more violent. Rantianyan. This is a kind of chaos spell. I didn't expect that a third-level Dark Territory Lord could master this powerful taboo technique. Ignis said, the Dark Lord will become stronger and stronger by fighting and feeding the war. If we don't take action to defeat him as soon as possible, I am afraid there will be more serious consequences. Rantianyan. Don't worry, let's take another look. The adventurer was also scared when he saw the powerful appearance of the Evilwood Lord. As expected of a third-level Dark Territory ruler in a place like the Evernight Forest, this old thing's power and means are richer than we imagined. The adventurer had no time to think of a countermeasure. The Evilwood Lord swung the Bloodflame Giant sword and was about to chop it again. But at this moment, Nancy Leah teleported in front of the Dark Lord, looking for death. The Evilwood Lord cast the Chaos Forbidden spell, and thought that he had infinitely close to the 5th level strength. Even if he faced a 5th level strongman, he could still compete with him. This ignorant elf actually tried to stop him. Then, he would be wiped out under the power of the Chaos Blood Flame. Nancy Leah was not in a hurry to close her eyes and cross her hands in front of her chest, and performed a secret technique of the Miracle City. It seemed that her body turned into the sun in an instant, and instantly burst into a 1,000-foot light. This is the ultimate move of the Great Snake in the End Arena. Sunshine. Nancy Leah saw at a glance that although the chaos spell of the Evilwood Lord was extremely powerful, it was of the nature of darkness and curse, and could be restrained by light-attributed spells. Sunshine was only level 3. It was a very rare and powerful rare secret spell. Nancy Leah had a strong talent for light spells, and the bloodline of the Elf King further enhanced it. When she performed this spell herself, the effect produced was not inferior to the 5th level spell. When the condensed light fell on the Evilwood Lord, more than half of the Evilwood Lord's huge body was immediately evaporated. He let out a shrill howl on the spot. Such a domineering and brutal light secret spell was obviously something he had never seen before. Nancy Leah performed another secret technique of the elves. Countless vines grew out of the ground and pierced into the body of the Evilwood Lord from all directions, limiting his ability to move. I will kill you. The Evilwood Lord was furious. He dragged his broken body, broke free from the vines, and raised the flaming giant sword again. Many vines full of flowers appeared under Nancy Leah's feet, and instantly woven into a gorgeous flower shield in front of her. Not only did they block the attack of the flaming giant sword, but the vines also entangled the giant sword and bloomed colorful flowers. The Evilwood Lord couldn't pull out the sword for a while. At this time, Nancy Leah suddenly teleported to the front of the Evilwood Lord, and she didn't know when a red samurai sword appeared in her hand, and this sword was the immortal/blade borrowed from the hands of the other shore flower. This sword has a great damage bonus effect on the dark species, dragons, and undead. Start the tier worship ceremony. Nancy Leah has locked onto the location of the Evilwood Lord's body by sensing the vine roots that spread all over the body of the evil wood lord like blood vessels. Break the army and rise the dragon. Nancy Leah rushed into the burning body of the blood-colored giant, and actually knocked the evil wood lord out of the flame giant with brute force. The immortal slash accurately pierced the heart, and lifted it into the air. I actually lost? This is impossible. The evil wood lord felt that his heart had been pierced. The opponent's sword skills were very sharp and domineering, and the weapon he used was very special, which made the wound unable to heal, and his vitality was rapidly fading. This elf, even not yet an adult. Her cultivation should be only about the middle stage of the 4th level. But she not only has a very top-level magic talent, but also has an incredibly strong body. The strength she can exert is far beyond that of herself, who is in the late 4th level. Even if she launches the Chaos Secret Art with a huge cost, she is completely defeated. When the evil wood lord was defeated, the Dark Army fell into chaos and panic. Although there are still several 4th level combat forces in this army, these few are only at the early stage of the 4th level, far less powerful than the evil wood lord. Even the evil wood lord was killed by a few encounters. What can they do? The natural disaster army of Miracle City has already confronted the Dark Army head-on. At this time, the mecha troops, armored troops, and air firepower strikes are all in place. Just dozens or hundreds of mechas and tanks can form a powerful force, plus thousands of guns, and the fearless natural disaster army. Although the number of enemies is large, and it is a bit difficult to kill, the final result is no suspense. The 4 lords faced the Dark Army that was gradually being wiped out. They were also very surprised or stunned. Although the 4 lords had full confidence in Miracle Territory, they did not expect that this battle would be so easy. The only high-end combat force that really performed well in this battle was Nancy Leah. There were 10 prepared 5th level, and dozens of 4th level warriors, who did not have much chance to perform. Miracle City was obviously too well prepared for this battle. Even if it was not a matter of using anti-aircraft guns to kill mosquitoes, it was definitely a case of using a butcher knife to kill a chicken. How could a street thief like Lord Xiaomu need to invest so much strength, however? The 4 lords knew very well. Even with such a lineup with serious overflow of combat power. In fact, Miracle City did not use its full strength. Lord Chi-Ji himself is definitely at the 5th level of strength, and has thousands of high-quality spirits that can be transformed into combat power at any time. In addition, Miracle Territory has 60% to 70% of monster soldiers, a large number of mecha tanks and other equipment, and these reserves are still in the main city, and have not been mobilized at the moment. Which means that Miracle Territory still has great war potential. 2 hours later, the decisive battle of Black Iron Mountain Ridge ended. The main force of the Evilwood Forest was completely wiped out. The Miracle Territory troops did not stop, and took advantage of the situation to attack the Evilwood Forest. Although the Evilwood Lord reserved troops in the Territory Mansion, the soldiers of the Evilwood Territory did not expect to be counterattacked by humans, and it was in such an environment as the Dark Knight. In fact, the Dark Knight not only became a bait for Miracle Territory to lure the enemy deep into the territory, but also the best opportunity for Miracle City to attack the Evilwood Territory, because after all, the Evilwood Territory is only a 3rd level territory. The 4th level warriors born and raised in the Xiaomu Territory are not bound by the laws of the territory. If the attack was launched normally, Miracle Territory would definitely suffer in terms of high-end combat power. The situation is completely different at this moment. Under the cover of the extremely dark night, dozens of 4th level warriors in Miracle Territory can attack the Xiaomu Forest unimpeded. At the critical moment, they can even use 5th level units to directly crush various defense lines. In addition, the Xiaomu Forest has no psychological preparation and plan for the counterattack of Miracle Territory. The result is predictable, from attacking the Xiaomu Forest to completely breaking through the Xiaomu City. It only took 6 hours in total. Everything is settled. It is now the end of the Dark Night. There is still about 1 or 2 hours left. Due to time constraints, Xiaomu Territory still has several fortresses, multiple important strongholds, and 2 affiliated 2nd level territories that have not been annexed in time, but even the core main city of the region has been obtained, and these scraps are at your fingertips, so there is no need to rush. It's just like a dream. Yeah, I can't believe it. We actually got it in one step, and took down Xiaomu City in one breath. This wave is too powerful. When the adventurers stood in Xiaomu City, which was full of dark troll style, everyone's face was full of surprise and disbelief. This Xiaomu City and Miracle City have been rubbing back and forth for at least half a month. Even if the adventurers are full of confidence in Miracle City, and believe that Miracle City will win. But I didn't expect it to be so sudden and so fast. Great! We have captured Xiamu City. The territory of Miracle Territory is expected to expand by nearly one-fold in the next few days. Not only will our territory have one more main secret realm, but after we take over several nearby fortresses and several affiliated territories, there will be several potential secondary secret realms to be built in the future. This wave is taking off right on the spot. The adventurers were excited and celebrating. A powerful aura suddenly descended on Xiamu City. When the adventurers saw each other, they all felt bright in front of them, and went up to claim credit immediately. Lord, we didn't disappoint you this time, didn't we? Although the elves contributed the most, we also made a lot of efforts. Not bad. There are rewards. Chi-Ji certainly knew what these guys wanted. He settled the task directly, and issued a generous contribution point to the adventurers, which was enough to make these adventurers smile so hard that they couldn't stop shouting "Long live the Lord" in their dreams. Contribution points have no direct cost to Chi-Ji. Chi-Ji can issue as many as he wants, and the territory has developed too fast recently, and the liquidity of contribution points is almost exhausted. It is just the right opportunity to release a lot of money to stimulate the economy, which is expected to maintain liquidity for a period of time. For adventurers, Miracle City contribution points are real money. This thing is even more precious than the same amount of soul crystals. How can they not be excited by the generosity of the Lord? The territory has gained too much in this battle. At this moment, various soul crystals, resources, and population have not been counted. It is expected that it will take some time to inventory and digest. It's all in the bag. Chi-Ji is not so anxious. After he came to Xiamu City, he walked directly into the territory hall, found the core of the dungeon, and then reached out to touch the core to refine it, in order to complete the last step of occupying this territory. You are refining the evil with City Core Divine Stone. This refining will consume 80,000 mental power. Do you want to continue? The higher the territory level, the larger the scale. The more mental power is needed to refine the core. 80,000 mental power is not a small number for ordinary territories, but it is nothing for Chi-Ji. You have refined the core of the evil with City. You are building the core of the third-level main city. You have built the third-level main city evil with City, Chaos Treasure Box, Blue, +1, done. Currently Miracle Territory has 4 components. Core Main City, Miracle City, First-level Main City, Dark City, Second-level Main City, Thunder City, Third-level Main City, Evil with City. Only Miracle City and Dark City have been opened. Thunder City has not yet been officially opened to the public. After this battle, it is time for Thunder City to be officially opened. Miracle Territory will be officially upgraded to a third-level territory, which will be more attractive to the natives, and the number of adventurers will increase sharply. And because of the new main city core, the 4th secret realm Nightmare Disease realm that Chi-Ji had prepared long ago will be opened. Miracle City will become more lively. The darkest night. It is about to end. The changes overnight are earth-shaking. This victory is of great significance to the pioneering team Miracle Territory. In the next few days, the territory and population will usher in a blowout development. Chapter 235. This great victory. The impact is far-reaching. The gains are also multifaceted and multi-level. For example, refining the core divine stone of Xiamu City, I got a blue quality treasure chest from it. This is the first blue quality treasure chest I have ever obtained. You open the chaos treasure chest, soul crystals increased by 120,000, skill secret crystal, adventurer clone technique increased by 1, blueprint, treasure exhibition hall increased by 1, territory construction token, cultivation tower increased by 1. As expected, the treasure chest of a higher grade is indeed amazing in value. Needless to say, 120,000 soul crystals may not be a small number for other territories, but it is not worth surprising for Chi-Ji. What Chi-Ji was really surprised about was, this time, the treasure chest opened a skill secret realm, a construction blueprint, and a territory token. This adventurer clone technique is a rare 4th-level lord skill. Ran Tianyun, Ren Wanxiong and other lords can come to Miracle City for adventures by using this method to create adventurer clones. Chi-Ji did not hesitate. He used the secret crystal directly. After learning this skill, he also has the ability to create adventurer clones. When creating adventurer clones, the lord can freely modify the adventurer's appearance, age, and even gender and race. This means that the lord can appear in different faces in the secret realms of his own or other dungeons, making it easier to interact with adventurers and other territories, or experience and collect real experiences in various secret realms. Chi-Ji rarely participates in territory activities in person, and has never been to other dungeons, but having an extra 4th level ability, the clone skill, is not a bad thing, and it will be useful sooner or later in the future. The other two are good things related to construction. Among them, the Rare Treasure Exhibition Hall is a 4th-order rare building. This facility can be understood as a more advanced and luxurious Secret Realm store. The main function of the Secret Realm store in the dungeon territory is to sell secret basic resources and ordinary items. Although there is a maximum purchase amount every day, the items themselves are not limited in quantity. The Rare Treasure Exhibition Hall and the Secret Realm store have a complementary relationship. The Secret Realm store cannot unlock items above the ordinary level, that is, it cannot unlock rare and rare items. This also leads to the fact that the rare and rare items in the territory can only be obtained by fighting, and the output is very low. The Rare Treasure Exhibition Hall is just the opposite. It is impossible to generate non-attribute items or ordinary items. Only rare items can appear in the Rare Treasure Exhibition Hall. Each Secret Realm store can only be bound to one secret realm, while the Rare Treasure Exhibition Hall can act on the entire territory. The former will not disappear once the goods are unlocked, while the latter has only 10 collection booths. Whenever an adventurer swipes out rare skills, equipment, spirits, or other items, this item will automatically appear in the Rare Treasure Exhibition Hall. Chi-Ji can choose to consume a lot of mental power to cash it out, or he can choose to ignore it. When the new treasure is swiped out, it will eventually cover the old treasure, and the latter will no longer be exchanged. In simple terms, the secret store is an open department store, with long-term stock, large quantity, and full supply. The main feature is a stable purchase and sales channel. The Rare Treasure Exhibition Hall is more like a limited-time auction, where secret treasures are randomly swiped out one by one. Although each value is not low, whether you can buy it depends on your ability and luck. Once the former is unlocked, the goods will not disappear. The latter can only be swiped out synchronously when the adventurer explodes the corresponding items. However, the Rare Treasure Exhibition Hall has an advantage over the secret store. That is, the Rare Treasure Exhibition Hall does not limit the types of items. For example, the output of spirits will never enter the secret store, but it can be swiped out through the Rare Treasure Exhibition Hall. Chi-Ji plans to deploy this facility in the Lord's Mansion. This facility is very rare. But rare does not mean easy to use. In fact, it is not very useful for many lords. Because the construction cost of the Rare Treasure Exhibition Hall is quite high, and the cost of use is even higher. Every time a territory exhibit is realized, a lot of mental power is required, and even reselling it may not be cost-effective. Not all dungeons are miracle cities. For other dungeons, mental power is an urgently needed resource, and this resource cannot be obtained through any external channels, but can only be self-generated through territory operations. What's more, common 3 grades: ordinary, rare, and rare items. Among these 3 conventional grades, only the rarest and most precious rare items can be included, and even if you turn an ordinary dungeon upside down, you may not be able to find even one rare item. Even if there are lords, they will do their best to protect them. At most, they will be used as carrots in front of adventurers or as gimmicks when holding territory activities. Adventurers will never easily get involved. In this case, it seems unnecessary to open a rare exhibition hall. However, for Chi-Ji, this is a very good supplementary facility. After all, the explosion rate of Miracle City is very high, and there are many rare treasures such as Sakura Dragon Spirit, Great Snake Spirit, Undead Slash, Skill Stone Sunshine, etc. Chi-Ji also has enough mental power, and he needs such a powerful cash-out channel. After he built the Rare Treasure Exhibition Hall, every time an adventurer hunts a Sakura Dragon Spirit from the Ashina Kingdom, Chi-Ji will pay double or even more mental power, and the territory's Sakura Dragon Spirit will also double. Most adventurers are reluctant to hand over this kind of super high-quality spirit, unless Chi-Ji personally negotiates with them. Now it doesn't matter whether the adventurer hands it over or not, because Chi-Ji has a way to get at least one guarantee for himself. So for ordinary territories, the Rare Treasure Exhibition Hall that may be accumulated is equivalent to double output for Chi-Ji in the long run. This can greatly increase the territory's heritage. It can also greatly enrich Chi-Ji's high-level resources and spirits. Of course, as a 4th-level facility, the Rare Treasure Exhibition Hall can only display 4th-level rare treasures at most. If adventurers explode with higher-quality rare items, unless Chi-Ji upgrades the Exhibition Hall, it cannot be included. Adventurer's Clone Technique. Treasure Exhibition Hall. The value of these two is more than enough to match a blue treasure chest. What Chi-Ji was particularly surprised about was that this time, in addition to the high-quality skill secret crystals and blueprints, it was the first time that a territory construction token was opened from the treasure chest in Miracle Territory. The functions of territory tokens and blueprints are actually the same. It's just that blueprints are one-time construction materials, while territory tokens are equivalent to permanent blueprints. You use territory construction token, training tower. The second-level rare facility training tower has been permanently engraved in the territory core, after Chi-Ji used the territory token on the territory core. This facility became one of the buildings that came with the territory core. In the future, as long as there are resources and enough capacity, he can build as many as he wants. This is just like the initial facilities such as Secret Hall, Spirit Altar, and Soldier's House. Chi-Ji has opened more than 20 treasure chests of various sizes since his debut, but he has never opened a territory token so far, which shows how low the explosion rate of this item is. The only token used in Miracle City is the residential token that Chi-Ji bought from the Lord's Land. He opened the real estate era of Miracle Territory with this. He launched several waves of housing. He cut a lot of leaks. This residential token is only a first-level territory token. All white and green treasure chests have a chance to open it. It is one of the territory tokens with the highest explosion rate, so it is relatively more circulated on the market and easier to buy. The Cultivation Tower token that Chi-Ji obtained at this moment is a second-level token, and the Cultivation Tower itself is also a second-level rare building, so no matter the level, value, or rarity, it is far higher than the residential token. This item should be the most valuable item in this treasure chest. What is the function of a rare building like the Cultivation Tower? Its function is very simple as the name suggests. It is to assist cultivation. Each second-level cultivation tower can accommodate 10 people in the territory to practice at the same time, allowing them to practice 10 times faster than in normal environments. In other words, 3 days of seclusion in the tower. It is equivalent to practicing for a month under normal circumstances, although it is of no use to adventurers in the cultivation of the territory's secret realm. But for local people and indigenous practitioners of the mainland, it has an irresistible temptation. It is true that the blueprint of the cultivation tower is only second level, but this facility can greatly increase the attractiveness of the territory. It is an important bait for the Lord to attract the indigenous strongmen of the mainland, so it is rarely circulated on the market. Chi-Ji wanted to improve the basic functions of the territory. In addition, he was preparing for the next stage of territory construction. He had been purchasing the blueprints of the cultivation tower recently, but he had not bought them yet. I never thought about it. This wave of good luck has exploded. No need to worry about this blueprint in the future. Because as long as the resources and demand are strong enough, there will be as many cultivation towers as you want, and this is of great significance to the territory. From a military perspective, there are enough cultivation towers that can be used for training. As long as Miracle City has patience and enough time, it will definitely be able to cultivate a large number of masters and trusted elites, from the perspective of economic development. The 10x speed cultivation provided by the cultivation tower is a powerful service. If this service is scaled up and fully commercialized, the value that can be created will be amazing. The value of the territory contribution points will be consolidated again, and a lot of resources will be earned at the same time. Chi-Ji wants the cultivation tower. It's not entirely for the cultivation function. This facility itself has the potential for further development. The second level tower is just the most basic and common training tower. The training tower can continue to upgrade, and the higher the level of the facility, the more powerful its function. The third level training tower is called the Big Training Tower, which has better training effects and larger capacity. The fourth level training tower has 7 or 8 different construction branches, some of which can be called small secret towers. For example, Chi-Ji is very interested in an extremely rare and precious blueprint illusionary enlightenment tower. This fourth level training tower can be integrated with the inspiration material of the Lord. The people of the territory have a certain probability of directly understanding skills from these inspiration materials by visualizing the battle drills between these monster characters. It is undoubtedly a very interesting facility. On this basis, Chi-Ji felt that there was value in further development. He felt that with his huge mental power and the abundant film and television materials in the Sea of Inspiration, if he could build the illusionary enlightenment tower, he might be able to develop the super cinema of Miracle City. Chi-Ji had too many inspirational materials. It would be a pity to leave so many materials unused. If the illusionary enlightenment tower could be used to build a miracle super cinema, it would not only allow adventurers and all the people in the territory to obtain a new way of entertainment and cultivation, but also further expand the influence of Miracle City. Of course, the idea of the cinema is good. But there are still many difficulties to overcome in this specific implementation process. As the basic hardware, the Illusionary Enlightenment Tower is a high-level variant of the 4th-level Cultivation Tower. Both the preconditions and the cost of building it have a high threshold. First, receive the drawings of the 3rd-level Cultivation Tower and build the 3rd-level tower. You are recovering the alien facilities of Shiamu City. Do you want to continue? Chi-Ji continued to operate the territory core of Shiamu City. There are still a lot of buildings, formations, traps, and extraordinary facilities left by the dark race inside and outside the main city of this territory. Although these facilities are very alien, and some of them have very special functions, most of them cannot be used because they cannot be connected to the core of the human territory. If they are not dealt with as soon as possible, not only will it affect the construction of the territory, there will also be various uncertain safety hazards. Chi-Ji then recycled most of the alien facilities. Recycling was successful. 4th level material essence plus 1550, 3rd level material essence plus 5780, 2nd level material essence plus 14260, 1st level material essence plus 109, 300. The huge Shiamu City became an empty city on the spot. Most of the facilities disappeared, and the resources produced were basically material essence. If all of them are converted into 1st level basic essence materials, the total amount is more than 300,000. This is a considerable number. In addition, Shiamu Territory's warehouse also reserves a large amount of materials. These materials are all decomposed and recycled into essence, and the quantifiable material income is expected to increase by more than double. As for the soul crystals directly confiscated, it is estimated that there are at least 200,000. This amount of soul crystals plus the 120,000 opened in the treasure chest is also a huge amount of 320,000. This amount of soul crystals and materials is not a small number even for the current miracle territory. Chi-Ji plans to use half to rebuild Shiamu City and improve its various infrastructure and fortifications. As for the remaining half, it is planned to be used for the construction of several other important places in Shiamu Territory, plus the construction of 10 training towers in Miracle City, so as to open up a training area in the main city. The population gain from this battle is also great, because the Miracle Territory army broke through the Evilwood Forest quickly enough. Therefore, the proportion of local population loss was relatively small. It is estimated that the local natives of Evilwood City and several major stronghold tribes have a total of about 80,000 to 90,000 people. Nearly half of the territory of Evilwood Territory has not been taken in time. It is estimated that the complete occupation and digestion of this territory can increase the population of Miracle City by at least 110,000 to 120,000. The races among them are very diverse. Most of them are dog-headed people, lizardmen, dwarves, and minotaurs. In addition, there are a certain number of flower fairies, dwarves, forest trolls, etc. It is particularly worth mentioning that after Chi-Ji seized the Evilwood City and refined the core divine stone, regardless of whether the remaining areas and fortresses were occupied, the entire territory of Evilwood City has been essentially incorporated into Miracle City. What does this mean? Shiamu City is a 3rd-level territory. Miracle City is nominally a 2nd-level territory. After the 2nd level annex the 3rd level, the 3rd-level territory will be temporarily downgraded to the 2nd level, which means that the original Shiamu territory will be affected by the 2nd-level territory law again. There are 2 affiliated territories near Shiamu territory. These 2 territories, Thunder City and Blood Howl City, are among the 4 major affiliated territories of Shiamu territory. Shiamu territory originally deployed a circle of 2nd-level territories on all sides of the territory. The main purpose was to form a firewall for the territory. If external high-level forces wanted to invade Shiamu territory, they had to fight with Shiamu territory agents in the 2nd-level area first. In this case, Shiamu City can continuously send 2nd-level troops into these areas, thereby blocking the threatening enemies outside the territory at a lower cost. But the current situation is, the low-level territory succeeded in fighting the high-level territory. The original territory of Shiamu territory was also directly downgraded to a 2nd-level territory. The territory of Miracle City has almost doubled, and the 2 unconquered subordinate territories of Evilwood City are now at the same level as the territory of Miracle City, which means that the territories are directly integrated. Just like Miracle City and Thunder City, the high-level units of Miracle Territory will have unimpeded access to the 2 subordinate dark territories. In other words, whether it is to wipe out the remaining scraps of Evilwood Territory or to annex the 2 original subordinate dark territories of Evilwood Forest, the troops of Miracle Territory will have unimpeded access and no suspense. The only thing needed is a little time. Are these the only territories that Chi-Ji wants? No, of course not. In this battle of Evilwood Forest, there are also two third-level dark territories, Blood Lake Territory and Crazy Claw Territory, participating in the battle, and these two territories are next to the new Miracle Territory. They suffered heavy losses in this battle. They are probably in a panic now. After Chi-Ji plans to annex the territory and power of the Evilwood Forest, the next step is to upgrade the territory and directly break through the barrier with the two territories, so as to annihilate them all at once, like a gust of wind sweeping away fallen leaves, without giving them any chance to struggle. In this way, in a short period of time, the power of Miracle Territory will also achieve several consecutive jumps. It will eventually grow rapidly into a huge force within a radius of 1,800 miles, with a population, strength, and momentum second only to Qianhu City. By then, even if you look at the entire Evernight Forest, it will be a giant and big man that cannot be ignored. Return to Miracle City. It is only about half an hour before the city opens. Chi-Ji met two people in the Lord's Hall one after another. One of them is Nancy Leah, the first guardian of the territory, who represents the elves and shines in this battle. Nancy Leah no longer appears as a dwarf girl. Now she is an elf girl with waist-length silver-white hair, eyes as clear as red gemstones, and skin as white as ivory. Her appearance is the best even among the elves, but she looks like a human of 15 or 16 years old, giving people the feeling that she has not grown up enough. After all, she is still an underage elf. You performed very well in this battle. Thank you for the compliment, Lord. Nancy Leah will definitely continue to work hard and make greater contributions to the territory. Nancy Leah said this, and was a little worried. But Lord, I personally took action this time, and the elves also participated in the war openly. I am afraid that the Eternal Night Dragon King will soon notice Miracle City. I am still worried. Although she did not reveal her identity directly. But this time she took action publicly, and the elves participated in the war on a large scale. This matter could not be covered up, and it was estimated that it would soon spread to Evernight City. With the means of the Evernight Dragon King, he would soon recognize Nancy Leah's identity and the threat of Miracle City. It doesn't matter. Since I dared to take action, I don't worry about being exposed. Chi-Ji deliberately suppressed the progress of the territory's upgrade and developed for several months, but he couldn't stay there forever, and since he chose to appear at this time point, he had sufficient self-protection confidence. The Dark Night had just passed. The Evernight Dragon King could not personally go down in a short time. After all, even he could not break through the suppression at the level of the law. Even if the Evernight Dragon King personally went down, the Thousand Lake City near Miracle City would restrain him, and when the next Dark Night broke out, Miracle City would still have a long time to develop. When she heard Chi-Ji's calm and indifferent voice, Nancy Leah's originally uneasy mood suddenly became steady. The Lord is always so calm and composed, giving people a sense of calmness, wisdom and security, as if everything is within his calculations. Even the terrifying Eternal Night Dragon King is no exception. Chi-Ji ordered, "Your current strength is still not enough. From today on, the territory will build a batch of training towers. You should practice more in the training towers when you have nothing to do, and strive to break through your own strength to the 5th level as soon as possible." Yes. Nancy Leah nodded immediately. If you can improve your cultivation to the 5th level, that will be an important pillar of strength for Miracle City. After Chi-Ji gave Nancy Leah the task and instructions, he let her withdraw, and the next person to enter the Lord's Hall was none other than the Lich Bezaros, the leader of the undead clan of Qianhu City. In this battle, Bezaros led the undead clan to participate in the war as ordinary citizens. Even so, it played a significant role. Bezaros summoned thousands of undead by himself, and the undead were highly resistant to poison and dark spells, so they greatly disturbed the ghost poison trolls and significantly reduced the losses of Miracle Territory. Therefore, he made a great contribution. Chi-Ji naturally wanted to reward him. However, rewards are secondary. After seeing Chi-Ji, Bezaros, the old lich, bowed directly. He said directly, "Thank you for your appreciation, Lord. After thinking for many days, I have made up my mind at this moment. I am willing to become the guardian of Miracle City and live and die with Miracle City from now on." Have you finally made up your mind? Although Chi-Ji was not surprised by this, he was also very satisfied. Bezaros is not only a 5th level lich, he has potential and luck that other high-level people do not have. In the future, he will become one of the important undead kings of the continent, so he has become the focus of recruitment in Miracle City. No time wasted. Before the secret realm is opened, Chi-Ji took Bezaros into the hero hall of the territory. You are granting Bezaros the hero mark. This granting requires 100,000 mental power. Do you want to continue? Yes. Chi-Ji burst out a burst of mental power as vast as a river. This power was absorbed and transformed by the hero Hall, and finally turned into a mark in Bezaro's soul. Chi-Ji said calmly, "From now on, you are the second guardian of Miracle Territory. This lord officially grants you the identity of the guardian of Dark City." "Thank you, Lord. Although it's a pity that I didn't become the guardian of the core city. But as the first level main city of Miracle City, Dark City is almost second only to Miracle City in importance, and the guardians are all equal, and they are all the most important combat forces and core members of the territory. You have obtained the new luck heart of Chaos Seeker. Nancy Leah has the epic luck blessing of the world tree. Although the luck of Vizeros with the heart of Chaos Seeker is slightly inferior to the former, it is also a very good luck. The luck of a character will also transform and evolve as the character's strength grows. Each luck has unique abilities, and most of them are only helpful for the production, governance, and military strength of the territory. Chi-Ji is more concerned about the increase and strengthening of the secret realm. There are two main functions that Chaos Seeker can currently play. First, every time the territory is upgraded by one level, the number of times the Spirit Sea is activated can be increased by 1. Secondly, for every upgrade of the territory, the efficiency of adventurers' cultivation in the secret realm will increase by 5%. The former can increase the number of activations of inspiration crystals. Although Miracle Territory is still nominally a second-level territory, it has also obtained 2 additional activation opportunities, and Miracle Territory will soon be upgraded, and then it will obtain 1 additional activation. This is a very important resource for Chi-Ji. It is also the main reason for him to recruit Bezaros. The latter can increase the speed of adventurers' cultivation, and the current increase is 10%. Don't underestimate this increase. As the level increases in the future, the increase will become higher and higher. The speed of adventurers' cultivation in Miracle Territory is already very fast. Even if it is 5%, 10% increase is a huge improvement for adventurers, which can not only further increase the attractiveness of the territory to adventurers, but also enhance the strength of the territory. Very good. Very good. Now everything is ready. Chi-Ji now has the core of the 4th territory's main city, and has extra inspiration crystal activation times, and the opening work of the 4th secret realm has been planned. He entered the Spirit Sea. Formally activated Elden Ring. According to the plan, this work will become the opening work of the 4th main secret realm. Chi-Ji's quick operation against the clock finally completed the installation work before the territory opened, which means that when the territory opens later, adventurers can directly experience the 4th main secret realm. It's really fast. In fact, even Chi-Ji himself didn't expect it. It's so fast to open the 4th secret realm. It can only be said that the territory is more powerful than he expected. Chi-Ji still has extra inspiration crystal activation opportunities. In the next few days, he can add a second official chapter to the Star Sea secret realm, or organize an interesting secondary secret realm for Miracle City. Chapter 236. Meng Bai. This is one of the many aliases she has acquired. Her real name is Ashadran Merstrex. Meng Bai is the second-ranked guardian in the Elder Council of the Guardians of Qianhu City. She is almost the most mysterious guardian in Qianhu City. Like the Lich Vizeros, she is not a local force in the Evernight Forest, and she has only joined Qianhu City for 100 years. Meng Bai is a female dragon. Her hometown is 1,000,000 miles away from the Evernight Forest. It is an extremely ancient country of 10,000 dragons that spans several chaotic eras. Although she is also an outsider, Meng Bai is different from the other elders of Qianhu City. She has no interest in the Evernight Forest. The reason she appears here is for the Evernight Dragon King. There is a tradition in the land of 10,000 dragons. Every noblest dragon warrior will hunt the fallen dragons when traveling on the continent. This will become an indispensable sacrifice in the coming-of-age ceremony, and also a symbol of a dragon warrior proving his bravery and honor. The stronger the fallen tribe you hunt, the higher the honor and reputation you will gain. The target chosen by Meng Bai Ashadran is the Evernight Dragon King entrenched in the Evernight Forest. However, although Meng Bai is a very rare, ancient, and noble branch among the ancient dragons, her species of dragon is not good at actual combat, and her current cultivation is not enough to challenge the Evernight Dragon King, so she chose to join Qianhu City. She believes that with this force as a base, coupled with her own wisdom, strength and courage, it is only a matter of time to defeat the Evernight Dragon King and return home in glory. Meng Bai Ashadran has never been favored by other tribesmen. Therefore, she wanted to prove that even she could become a brave and powerful dragon warrior. Although Meng Bai had joined Qianhu City for only 100 years, and was an independent outsider without any power or foundation. He had already become the second-ranked guardian of Qianhu City Elder Council, second only to the founder of Qianhu City. This shows that Meng Bai is definitely not weak, and has made a lot of contributions to Qianhu City. Now he is one of the most critical forces in the fight against the Eternal Night Dragon King. The Elder has fallen asleep again recently. According to the rules of the Guardian Elder Council, whenever the Elder falls asleep, she is the most powerful person in the city, which means that during this period of time, she is the de facto acting city lord. As the acting city lord, she recently discovered something strange. That is, the 6th-ranked Lich Vesilos and the 18th-ranked Elf Artist in the Elder Council behaved abnormally. These two old guys are very close to a human underground city called Miracle City. Not only that, the power and influence of Miracle City have also entered Qianhu City. It is said that they are very popular among adventurers and certain groups in Qianhu City. Qianhu City is an alliance city-state, although the members of the Elders' Council have their own rights and obligations. However, since each elder has a different identity and comes from different forces, they are essentially scattered and have their own interests and plots. They are nothing more than banding together for warmth under the pressure of the Eternal Night Dragon King. As long as it does not harm the interests of Qianhu City, fulfill the agreement and fulfill the obligations normally. No one can control what these elders want to do. However, as the second elder and acting city lord, she feels that she needs to learn about Miracle City. Meng Bai is a rare dragon of noble blood. Although she is 800 years old, she is the youngest and least experienced dragon in her clan. She is curious about everything. Human dungeon? That is indeed interesting. Meng Bai has traveled the continent for less than 200 years. For decades, she has become an adventurer and wandered in various dungeons. She thinks she is already an experienced adventure expert. The main reason why she has not continued to adventure in recent years is that there are no sufficiently challenging and interesting secret realms in the Evernight Forest. Secret realms in human dungeons. Either they are shoddy and full of malice, or they are not challenging enough. For many years, there has not been a secret realm with real connotation that can attract them and make them want to conquer and explore. Miracle City opened an adventure hall in Qianhu City, but it caused a sensation among the adventurers in Qianhu City in just 20 or 30 days. Nowadays, it is crowded every day, and the secret crystal is very difficult to find. A large number of adventurers are even willing to pay a high fee to take risks. In this process, many Qianhu City merchants and adventurers spontaneously go to Miracle City. Strange, I have never seen this situation. Is this newly opened dungeon really so interesting? Meng Bai couldn't help but feel curious and couldn't help wanting to play, but as the acting lord of Qianhu City, if she left her post due to playfulness, it might cause a bad impact. When she hesitated, a heavy information dispelled her concerns. This information is, Miracle City, with the assistance of artists and Bezaros, broke through the Evilwood Forest and completed a major expansion. This underground city, which has only appeared for a short time, has actually annexed a third-level dark territory. Although it is in the extremely dark night environment, and there are the assistance of the elves and undead of Qianhu City, it is definitely a major event that can cause a sensation. Regardless of whether Miracle City is supported by the elves and the undead, the current territory and strength of this city have at least reached the 3rd level. It can so easily annex the Evilwood Forest, or it may have the initial strength of the 4th-level territory, and there are not many such forces even in the entire forest. When its rise is enough to impact the regional power structure, it may also have a great impact on the power structure of the entire Evernight Forest. Then do you have to go and see it in person? This is not for fun. After all, as the acting city lord and the second elder of Qianhu City, it is obliged to grasp all the changes in the forces within the influence of Qianhu City, so as to make the most favorable deployment and decision for Qianhu City. Meng Bai's body cannot be shown directly. This will not only cause too much attention and discussion, but may also alert the enemy and be detrimental to reconnaissance. She then transformed from a 50 to 60 meter long dragon into a human girl in an instant. This is one of the racial talents of the Prophet Ancient Dragon. As one of the oldest and most mysterious sacred dragons, the Prophet Dragon can transform into various races, and this incarnation is not a simple shape change. Once Meng Bai successfully transforms into another race, his body and soul level will undergo a fundamental transformation, thus possessing the racial talent of this race, and the racial talent of the human race is the innate adventurer soul. Humans are born adventurers. Therefore, after Meng Bai transformed into human form, she automatically awakened the soul of an adventurer and could enter any dungeon. My human form is rarely used in Qianhu City, and almost no one has seen it, so I won't alert the enemy. Mingbai looked like a big Lolita, like a porcelain doll, and looked lively, cute and innocent, but because of her hundreds of years of experience, she had a calm and sophisticated feeling that was completely inconsistent with her appearance. The dark night will end in 5 minutes. Mingbai's eyes turned silver white, and she directly tore open the space in front of her, stepped through the crack, and crossed hundreds of miles from Qianhu City to the dark valley in the core of Miracle City. This is a very clever spatial method. When affected by the dark night, the territorial law of the Great Forest becomes invalid. Under this circumstance, Mingbai can teleport herself to any location. Because Mingbai is a human adventurer at this moment, this true identity quickly passed the city entry inspection, and she was finally successfully teleported to the main city as she wished. At this time, the dark night had ended and the chaos tide had returned. Here, it's still the second level. When Mingbai felt the power of the law covering the miracle territory, she was surprised and shocked to find that this territory that broke through the Evilwood Forest with the force of a gust of wind and a crushing force was still only a second-level force, even with the full help of old guys like Vazaros and artists. It is also a very incredible, even unbelievable thing for a second-level territory to want to destroy the Evilwood Forest overnight. After all, there are many formations and traps in the Evilwood Forest, and tens of thousands of dark armies. How did they do it? Mingbai was full of curiosity, and observed the miracle territory at the same time. Miracle City is now very prosperous. Even though it has not yet absorbed the new population from the Evilwood Forest, the local population of tens of thousands plus hundreds of extraordinary facilities are enough to make it look no less than the third or fourth level territory main city that has been painstakingly managed for 30 years. Not only that, it was almost a minute after the city was opened. At least 10,000 human adventurers crowded here. Mingbai has traveled to many top dungeons, many of which have reached the 4th and 5th levels. Although the scale of their main cities is much larger than that of Miracle City, he has never seen adventurers so passionate or even fanatical. I thought this was a puppet dungeon supported by elves or undead. Now it seems that it is not that simple. Even without the blessing of elves and undead forces, this dungeon still has great potential and strength. Interesting. This dungeon is really interesting. While Mingbai was observing, suddenly, a group of female adventurers passed by. Cat Ming Ming. Wow, look, there is a cute little sister. Is she a new adventurer in Miracle City? Liwa Yulua was a little puzzled. In our adventurer world, generally only those over 16 years old are allowed to participate in adventures. Such a young little sister is still very rare. The white deer took the initiative to ask, "Little sister, where are you from?" "I am an adventurer from Day City. I heard about Miracle City while traveling in Qianhu City recently. Today is my first time to come to this place. Please take care of me." Mingbai made up a random origin. She then continued, "Also, you don't have to treat me as a little sister. I just look smaller in appearance. In fact, if nothing unexpected happens, I am older than all of you." "Really?" Mingbai spoke very steadily. He even had a sense of being old-fashioned. This temperament formed a strong contrast with his childish appearance. Several female adventurers were surprised. They soon noticed Mingbai's high bulging chest. This little guy's figure and appearance also formed a strong contrast. He was simply the legendary babyface Big X, which made people deeply impressed at a glance. It seems that I really made a mistake. Some people are just small with baby faces. Ha ha ha, sorry, we are rude. Since we are in Miracle City, we will be a family from now on. Yes, let's go to the hall together. We will treat you to Fat House Happy Water and spicy strips. Mingbai did not refuse. She was going to the secret hall anyway. During this process, I heard the adventurers talking again. "Have you heard? Today the Lord is going to open the 4th main secret realm." "Well, there is no doubt about it. This matter has been announced. I think it must be true. It's really weird. It has only been a short time since the capture of Qianhu City, and the 4th main secret realm has been created so quickly. Although I knew that the Lord was very efficient, this speed is too fast." "No problem. Hasn't the Lord always been so fast?" He may have been planning a new secret realm half a month, or even a month ago. A few minutes later, the lobby of the secret realm in Miracle City. "What kind of drink is this? It's so delicious." Mingbai sipped a mouthful of iced Fat House Happy Water, and his eyes were full of light. Mao Mingming laughed. "What's this? We have a lot of good things in Miracle City. Now that you are here, you should develop well and try to settle down here as soon as possible. Come on. I can't wait to have an adventure. Let's go. Mingbai, if you have anything, you can always find us." Mingbai sipped the fat house happy water and walked around the secret hall. Although the thing in her hand was just an ordinary drink, it had a magical power that made her feel very intoxicated. It was a pity that she finished it quickly. Miracle City is indeed different. It has been less than 10 minutes since the territory was opened. The secret hall is already very lively and full of adventurers. This is formed by the merger of 4 third-level halls, and the space can accommodate tens of thousands of people. Even so, it is still very crowded. There are not only many adventurers, but also many people in the territory who provide services. In the process of drinking Coke, a large number of adventurers have started their adventure. The picture displayed in the secret crystal shocked her. Zombies, mechas, tanks, spaceships. These strange and novel elements and scenes are all things that Mingbai has never heard of before. The several competitive gun battles she has seen are also very interesting. No wonder Miracle City is so popular. The style of the secret realm is completely different from other dungeons. Mingbai threw the Coke can to the dwarf waiter, who collected garbage, and she quickly found a secret realm crystal, activated it immediately, and started the challenge with great enthusiasm. How can watching others take risks be as exciting as experiencing it yourself? When the crystal is activated successfully, the works of Miracle City's secret realm are presented one by one. Main Secret Realm, Doomsday Frenzy, Exotic 10 Kingdoms, Star Sea, Nightmare Disease Realm. Secondary Secret Realm, End of the World Arena, Free City, Arad Continent. There are currently a total of 7 optional secret realms. These secret realms are all unfamiliar to Mingbai, but as an old bird with rich adventure experience, she also knows that there are many benefits to exploring new secret realms. It is said that the 4th main secret realm of Miracle City, Nightmare Disease Realm, was opened today. Choose you. The moment Mingbai made her choice, she immediately fell into a chaotic void. This is a starry sky scene similar to the Sea of Stars, but it is completely different from the vast, deep and vast feeling of the Sea of Stars. The first feeling this scene brings to people is crazy and chaotic. The billions of stars in the endless void were distorted by some power beyond cognition. Finally, a series of strange vortices of different colors and shapes were formed. Thousands of strange star vortices eventually formed a crazy starry sky, which is similar to Van Gogh's famous Starry Sky painting, but it is more distorted, weird, and full of weird atmosphere. When you look around, behind the endless and deep crazy starry sky background, between the gaps and cracks of the thousands of star vortices, there are billions of tentacles, eyeballs, tumors, or other indescribable tissues and organs, and various strange substances and energies are looming. Mingbai can feel the deepest gap between the thousands of vortices and the crazy starry sky. There is a very ancient and indescribable existence sleeping. It seems to be the source of the entire crazy starry sky. Everything is born from the reflection of its dream, as fragile and absurd as a mirror flower and water moon. What kind of world is this? Why does it give people such a weird and absurd feeling? This secret realm is called Nightmare Disease Realm. Does it contain some deep meaning? Mingbai does not have enough information now, so she naturally cannot make an effective guess. But she feels that the reason why the Lord of Miracle City created such a scene is not just a gimmick, it must be related to the content of each secret realm and the entire secret world. When the morbid and crazy starry sky appeared in front of her, all the star vortices were in a closed state, and only one was currently in an active running state. The first activated star vortex is the first chapter of the Disease World, Broken Magic Ring. Chi-Ji did not change the original name, because this name can reflect the characteristics of the story. The reason why Chi-Ji changed the name of the secret realm he remade in the past was mainly to more intuitively reflect the characteristics of the secret realm, or to better integrate with the main secret realm, and the Disease World is a chaotic and disordered world full of madness. The main line of this story is completely centered around the Elden magic ring. If it is renamed Golden Tree Dynasty, the Borderland chapter seems too rigid, and the original name Ancient Ring and Old Man Ring are weird. The word Elden itself does not contain any special meaning. It highlights the mysterious feeling. There are currently hundreds of adventurers, including Mingbai, who have entered the login interface of the Nightmare Disease Realm. When they face the name of the opening work of this secret realm, Elden Ring, they are all confused, because there is no other information to support it. Just by the name, it is impossible to guess what this secret realm is. However, it is precisely because of the mysterious and obscure feeling, plus the crazy login interface of the Disease World, that people have a sense of mystery and want to enter it to find out. The Lord of Miracle City is really thoughtful. I haven't entered the secret realm yet, but I'm already so curious. I don't know what this story is about. Very good, this trip is not in vain. Now let me see how many surprises the secret realm of Miracle City can bring me. Mingbai didn't waste time. She decisively chose the Secret Realm story at the first time. A huge attraction came and sucked her into the deepest part of the star vortex. Mingbai appeared in the character creation interface. She can choose one of the 10 initial identities, including Wandering Knight, Brave Man, Warrior, Prisoner, Emissary, Samurai, Thief, Stargazer, Prophet, and Useless Person. Different initial identities have different specialties. This will obviously affect the exploration of the Secret Realm. Adventurers were surprised to find that they could not only choose their initial identity, but also freely set their appearance. In theory, they could create any appearance of the protagonist. Fuck. Is it possible? This setting is too interesting. Then can we create a protagonist who looks exactly like us? No wonder adventurers find it fresh and strange. Because in the past story-based Secret Realms of Miracle City, whether it was Rebecca and Leon in the biochemical world, or Uncle Wolf, Kratos, Igor, and Eiko, the image and identity of each character in the story were fixed. Even in the Arad continent, where you can freely create characters and choose professions, there are actually only a few fixed templates to choose from. Elden Ring is the first Secret Realm where you can completely customize characters. It is an interesting innovation for adventurers. The identity, gender, and appearance of the protagonist can be customized. This means that this may be a Secret Realm with a higher degree of openness and freedom, and a completely different way of plot interpretation, which makes the adventurers of Miracle City more curious about this world and the story. Mingbai also found it very interesting. It took her half an hour to make a satisfactory character, and she chose the identity of a Wandering Knight, and then officially entered the story. Boom, in the endless darkness. A violent knocking sound. It seemed to hit the soul. A bright light was smashed out from the deepest part of the endless darkness. Although this light looks so weak, it is powerless but stubbornly resists, trying to tear apart all the darkness. A deep and old voice sounded, "Fallen leaves bring a message." A picture with a simple oil painting texture appeared in front of Mingbai from blur to clarity. This is a slender, curvy, naked woman. She swung a sledgehammer with both hands and hit something on the stone platform heavily. Although it is just a still painting, but it was full of tension and artistic conception. Mingbai could clearly feel from the static and unclear picture and the dull impact sound coming from the background that the destructive power contained in this blow was enough to shake the world. Boom, without waiting to see carefully. Suddenly the picture changed. The characters in this picture full of oil painting texture suddenly changed. The same scene, the same posture, the same hammering action, but the character in the painting suddenly changed from a slender woman to a muscular man with clear muscle lines. What's going on? Who are these two people? What are they hammering? Why are they doing the same thing in the same place? The adventurer was confused. Mingbai had a different feeling. No, they are doing different things, or even completely different. She felt two completely different flavors through the pictures, and the alternating impact sounds. Every time the woman swung the hammer, it was full of reckless destruction. She should be trying to smash something. Every time the man swung the hammer, he was trying to repair it, which was completely opposite to the motivation of the woman swinging the hammer. When the knocking sounds rang alternately, it was like some silent and fierce game. Mingbai couldn't believe it. Just a few pictures that were not very realistic. It made her feel the artistic conception and charm so vividly. This feeling had never been there before, and although it was not very clear at present, the amount of information contained in the painting must be quite large. The two pictures lasted only 5 seconds in total. At this time, the angle of the picture changed, this time giving a close-up of the stone platform. The moment the ancient hammer hit the stone platform, it actually burst into dazzling light and complex runes full of energy. Although the adventurers couldn't see what was hit. But something should have been broken. Mingbai thought, did the woman win in the end? She broke not only an object, but also some conceptualized law power. At this time, the picture changed again. A giant tree that was thousands of feet tall or even higher was blooming with a golden light full of divinity that was difficult to look at directly, and under the glory was a ruined city full of vicissitudes. Tens of thousands of troops were attacking the city, and a huge gray dragon corpse fell in the city. The deep narration sounded again. On the other side of the fog, at the border of our hometown, the great Elden Ring has been broken. Mingbai couldn't help but widen her eyes when she saw this. Although she had only entered the secret realm for a few seconds, and although she had only seen a few static pictures and a few short monologues, it was full of mystery. But she didn't know why. She could feel the extraordinariness of this story. The smashed mysterious object, the golden giant tree full of divinity, everything gave people a mysterious and magnificent epic feeling, and she didn't know how the story would unfold next. It seems. The legend is true. The secret realm of Miracle City is not just a secret realm. Each secret realm seems to bring people into a brand new world. Chapter 237. Mingbai had never been in contact with the secret realm of Miracle City before, and she didn't know the style and characteristics of Miracle City. But perhaps because of her own talent, she is better at feeling and capturing information. She can easily distinguish what is pretentious and what is real. In just a few seconds, only a few short pictures were presented. She had felt the huge amount of information and heavy stories contained in this secret realm, from the hammering sound full of contradictory wills, the breath fluctuations when the magic ring was broken, and the pictures of the golden giant tree and the city war. The Miracle Lord has incorporated a lot of hints and foreshadowings into these short pictures. Who are the man and woman who are swinging hammers and hitting continuously? Same posture, same picture, same half-naked, same pants. Could it be the same person? Why does this person have two performances? This is too strange. What is it hinting at? And the magic ring containing the power of law and the golden giant tree. Mingbai's mind burst out with many thoughts and ideas at the same time. There are hundreds of adventurers exploring this sick world story in the hall at the same time. The fallen leaves bring a message. On the other side of the fog, our hometown borderland, the great Elden ring has been broken. The eternal Queen Marika disappeared. On that black knife night full of conspiracy, Golden Prince Godwin became the first dead. And Marika's children. The demigods seized the fragments of the ring, but because of that power, they fell astray and fell into madness, triggering the fragment war. At the end of this war without a king, the Supreme will exile them. The narrator tells the story slowly. The screen keeps changing. Chi-Ji did not completely copy the original opening. Instead, he incorporated some promotional CG clips and self-made parts. From the dead Prince Godwin, the mysterious Dark Moon Princess Lani, to the blasphemous King Lakad, who was swallowed by the snake, the Blood King Munger who kidnapped the god Michaela. All of them are shown in short clips, but there is no additional explanation. There are some pictures with a lot of information and very grand scenes. It makes people feel awe-inspiring. The final freeze-frame picture is the moment when the Valkyrie Marlenia and the star-breaking General Latin duel. The Valkyrie exudes a sharp sword intent that is unstoppable and can break everything, as well as a corrupt breath that can rot everything, while the giant figure of the star-breaking general is full of oppression like a mountain, with two big swords and purple energy representing gravity surrounding his body. Wow, too strong. Judging from the aura of these two, I'm afraid they are at least level 4. Who are these two? They look so powerful. Why are they fighting? The combat power of this secret realm is indeed not low. There are many spirits worth brushing. It is a world worth exploring. So far, the opening is only halfway through. It only took 2 minutes and 10 seconds. The amount of information contained in it is very huge, and every picture and every detail has a lot of exquisiteness, which is worth studying with a magnifying glass by adventurers. The newcomer Mingbai is completely immersed in this unique narrative method. It's not that she has never seen excellent story-based secret realms in the past, but this kind of creative opening has only been seen in Miracle City. Of course, this is not the point. The most important thing is the way of telling the story. Other dungeons usually explain the story through a guiding character, a text, or even a set text after entering the secret realm, so that adventurers can fully understand the theme. Simply put, general story secret realm. Lords are often afraid that the amount of information they convey is not enough, and they are also afraid that adventurers cannot fully understand their creations, so they will express themselves very actively. But the first story of the nightmare disease world is Elden Ring. Mingbai felt unusual restraint. The Lord of Miracle City is just showing, but he doesn't give any extra explanations. He doesn't worry about whether the adventurers are confused, and this seems to be a more advanced and confident approach. The second half of the opening continues to be released. A statue of a goddess stands high with her arms open. The large square in front of the statue is piled with tens of thousands of coffins and cold remains. The background narration, which had always been low and slow, suddenly became loud and excited. Oh, so, the fated ones, the dead who still cannot sleep forever, the blessing we lost long ago is calling out. King of the wild land Ho Lu, glorious golden mask. Dead sleeping girl Fia, the despised dung eater. King of wisdom Gideon Othniel. Every time a name or title is read, a corresponding picture will be given. A golden light appeared around these people who seemed to be dead. When the loud recitation gradually fell silent, the picture in front of the adventurer fell into darkness, and this silent darkness lasted for about 3 seconds. Another golden light appeared. This light illuminated a small area of darkness. It fell slowly like snowflakes on an unknown corpse. The lost blessing once again returned to the nameless fated one. Please move to the other side of the fog, arrive at the junction to meet the Elden Ring. Become the king of Elden, all explanations are over. After the nameless corpse received the blessing, he was resurrected and slowly stood up from the fog. Mingbai was surprised and excited when she saw the figure and appearance. Isn't this the character she created bit by hand? Before she could think about it, the perspective suddenly switched, and she gradually had various perceptions. Mingbai officially entered the body of the character she created, which means that the adventure has officially begun. New secret realms are always popular. The two newest secret realms in Miracle City are the 9 Realms tree in the exotic 10 Kingdoms, and the Ring of Magic, although Key's adventure has just begun not long ago. But the 9 Realms tree is the 3rd kingdom unlocked in the 10 Kingdoms after all. The Ring of Magic is the first story of the Sick World. Adventurers will link the story of the Ring of Magic with the worldview of the Nightmare Sick World for research and speculation. Because of this, the story of the Ring of Magic is not only very attractive in itself, but also attracts many adventurers who are interested in the Sick World to come and study. Blackstone Hammer King said, "The 4th secret realm, the Nightmare Sick World, gives people a weird feeling." Pig King, from the literal meaning of the Sick World, this worldview seems to be polluted and sick. What does nightmare mean? It seems to be a completely different worldview. Lone Wolf nodded, "Yes, the biggest feeling this secret world gives me is madness and obscurity. I don't know how the distorted starry sky presented on the login interface was formed. The story of the magic ring must be related to this diseased world, but we have to slowly explore the specific situation. Another world worth exploring. Old Chi is awesome." After the opening credits, the adventure of the Borderland officially began. Adventurers inside and outside the secret crystal launched a series of discussions on this. Everyone is very curious about the nightmare disease world and the story of Elden's magic ring. Nanshank, what does this opening plot mean? Although I can feel that the information is very large, it is not very clear and confusing. Time Traveler said, "I think the basic information is not difficult to understand." Cat Mingming, please explain it to us, Mr. Traveler. Time Traveler nodded and said, "The most straightforward and superficial information shown in this section is that a person named Marika, nicknamed the Eternal Queen, broke something called the Elden Ring. The ring broke into many fragments. Each piece contains a powerful law power. These fragments seem to contain not only powerful power, but also special meanings. So Marika's children, a group of demigods, started a war for the fragments. There should be no winner in the war. In order to see the Elden Ring again, some kind of power resurrected a large number of powerful people. Although the protagonist we play is not a famous person, he is also one of the many characters who were resurrected, and there may be thousands of people like us. If I analyze it based on the current information, if I'm not mistaken, the main plot of this story should not be complicated. It's nothing more than fighting with various competitors, then challenging the demigod who holds the fragment of the magic ring, and finally recasting the magic ring to become the king." The Time Traveler made a guess based on the current information. He continued, "Of course, the main quest may not be difficult to guess, but there are still too many mysteries waiting to be solved in this story and this world. For example, why did Marika smash the magic circle? And who was the man who swung the hammer with Marika to smash the magic circle? Is Marika a human or a god? Why is her child called a demigod? Why was the Golden Prince Godwin assassinated? And why was he called the first dead? After all, countless dead people have appeared in the plot display. This world seems to have a very long history of civilization. He should not be the first dead person anyway. What does that golden tree symbolize? What is the supreme will? I always feel that the laws and systems of this world are very special. The demigods and famous fated ones seem to have stories, and these are for us to gradually explore and decipher during the adventure." Time Traveler's interpretation. Let all adventurers suddenly see the light. The opening narration only adds up to a few sentences, and most people just ignore them, and don't notice so many details. But now, everyone feels a sense of awe after being pointed out by the Time Traveler. Lord Renwancheong said, "It's amazing. So few pictures and narrations actually contain so much information?" Lord Galyu, "And this is probably only part of it. After all, the Time Traveler is not a worm in Lord Chi's stomach. He is just more careful than ordinary people, and it is impossible for him to discover all the information." Ran Tianyun, "Awesome, Lord Chi really has no bottleneck. I have a hunch that this nightmare disease world will be built into a very unique world." Li Jianhan, "The demigods and big figures shown at the beginning of this story are probably all luxurious heavyweight materials. I wonder how many precious people or monsters there are in this secret realm. Everyone can feel it. This worldview must be not simple. The content of this first disease world story must be quite rich, from various spirits, skills to various equipment and local specialties. It is estimated that there will be a lot of gains worth looking forward to. At this moment, Lord's Mansion. Chi-Ji is also paying attention to and continuing to improve the world of Elden Ring. Although the original work of the Old Man's Ring is already a very excellent classic, with a grand plot and an epic world, there is still a big difference between video games and the real world. There is a big gap between the world of the Ring of Law remade by Miracle City and the original. First of all, the area. The Ring of Law is a very large open-world game. According to the survey and calculation of some players on the internet in the previous live based on the math scale, it is generally believed that the land area of the entire border is 79 square kilometers. This does not include the Shadowland area of the DLC, and the Nimwood area outside the border in the derivative work Night King. Chi-Ji estimated that the total area is only about 100 square kilometers. This is indeed large enough for a game, because the game map will definitely be miniaturized. For example, the relatively repetitive wilderness with no information density is compressed, so two areas with completely different customs, power structure, and weather environment may be separated by only a few kilometers. The secret realm of Miracle City. It is undoubtedly a more vivid and real world. When the inspiration crystal is formed, it will automatically fill in the missing content and logic of the original work. Chi-Ji also hopes to create a more vivid and real world, so the intersection under his creation will be much larger in area and scale. He presupposes that the planet is about the same size as the Earth, and as the capital of the Golden Tree Dynasty, and the center of all power and struggle stories, this area called the intersection is about the same size as Switzerland and Denmark. A large increase in area is just the basic. The increase in area alone is too empty. Chi-Ji must also make a lot of supplements and details. During the adventure in this intersection, adventurers will not only experience all the main and branch lines of the Ring of Law, but also come into contact with a large number of original NPCs, fated people who are chasing the king, and various settlements that conform to the worldview setting. In this way, the ecological system of this world can be improved, so that it looks more real. In short, while ensuring the originality of the main storyline, Chi-Ji also arranged more original content that can be explored, discovered and unlocked. After completing all the main storylines, it is expected that further challenges will be opened, allowing each Elden King to have the opportunity to challenge the outer god or even the incarnation of the Supreme Will, and in this process, part of the worldview of the Nightmare Disease world will be unlocked. As for the battle, first of all, it is certain that there is no rolling invincible frame in the Miracle City secret realm. It is impossible for the King of Elden to roll on the ground after 2 hits. Among the initial identities, the useless person has only the strength of level 1 and 1 star, and the other 9 have the strength of level 1 and 5 stars. But the weakest of any mainline boss is level 3, 4 and 5 stars. The particularly powerful ones even start at level 4, so the difficulty of this adventure can be imagined. But fortunately, in this adventure in the border area, the protagonist can upgrade by collecting runes and learn various skills, so there is a high growth potential and growth rate. Jill, my Shiranui, you are responsible for watching the Lord Market. Chi-Ji gave orders to the 2 assistants and maids. If you find the drawings of the level 3 training tower, let me know immediately. Yes. The 2 Lord assistants quickly took the order. If Chi-Ji wants to build a miracle cinema, he must build a special level 4 training tower illusionary enlightenment tower. And if he wants to build this kind of level 4 special training tower, he naturally has to build a level 3 training tower first. Miracle City Cinema Project. But it is a project that the Lord attaches great importance to. However, Chi-Ji has limited energy, and he can leave the task of watching the market to his subordinates. He also assigned a number of creative tasks for the border areas to his Secret Realm screenwriter team, requiring them to create 1,000 more character settings for the fated ones. And then he turned his attention back to the Secret Realm Hall to understand the adventure progress and situation of each Secret Realm. Currently, the progress of the 9 Realm Tree Secret Realm is steadily advancing. The adventurer has passed through several original Nordic towns and has a better understanding of this worldview. At the same time, he came into contact with Freya, who calls herself a forest witch, Odin's ex-wife since Kratos' hidden divinity, and helped them embark on their adventure. Chi-Ji's enriched and optimized Kratos' story is more vivid and interesting than the original version. Now the popularity of this bald man holding an axe in Miracle City is constantly increasing, and the cumulative number of actors has reached 2,500. Arad World. Because it is the first role-playing online game. and Jinxi City and Qianhu City can only enter this secret realm. The current popularity of Arad continent is always very high. Now there are dozens of adventurers who have reached level 25 or 26. They are full of fighting spirit and are joining forces to challenge the final area of the Sky City. Not bad. Very spirited. Shi Ji's eyes returned to the magic ring. He focused on a special adventurer. This adventurer is none other than Mengbai. This little female dragon's ability to transform is indeed seamless, but she can hide it from others, but it is impossible to hide it from Boss Qi. Has she even come to Miracle City? This contact is earlier than expected. It seems that the third guardian has also been found. At this moment, at the border, Mengbai has completely adapted to the body of the Wandering Knight. This body has the initial strength of the first level 5-star, and its initial equipment includes a set of old armor, a sword, and a shield. Hey, there is a residual memory in my mind. This memory is incomplete. Mengbai also learned the origin of this body from it. This Wandering Knight was once a person from the border, the first king of Elden, the former king of the wilderness, and an ordinary warrior under the command of the Golden Dynasty War King Geoffrey. Many years ago, in order to conquer the places that refused to be ruled by the Golden Law, this warrior followed the War King Geoffrey to fight, and fought all the way to the border. With the blessing of the Golden Tree, every soldier has infinite power and can instantly draw power from the blessing to recover any injuries, so the war was very smooth at the beginning, and it can even be said to be crushing. But the Dynasty army is about to unify the world. Let this world be completely shrouded in the Golden Law. For some unknown reasons, everyone from Geoffrey to ordinary soldiers was suddenly deprived of the blessing. This unexpected change caused the army to suffer a disastrous defeat, and almost annihilated. The warrior played by Mengbai escaped by chance, but his golden eyes lost their color in an instant after being deprived of the blessing, and he could never return to the embrace of the Golden Tree, so he was expelled from the border, and such people are called fated. So far, he has become a Wandering Knight. Not long ago, the blessing suddenly returned to him. At the same time, the Wandering Knight learned that the ring was broken, so he rushed back to the border from the outside world, and met his own witch in the process. The witch saw the potential of this unknown knight. She then teamed up with the Wandering Knight, hoping to assist the fated one, help him absorb the power of Rune, and finally be crowned as the new king of Elden, so the two embarked on this adventure full of dreams and fantasy together. So that's what happened. Although the memory in Mengbai's mind was very broken, she couldn't even remember the names of the Wandering Knight and the witch, and most of the memories of the past events disappeared. But we could also learn from these remaining information. This is a world with a very strange worldview, power system, and institutional system. For example, the king of Elden is different from the king in the secular sense. This identity looks more like a guardian, and his main task seems to be to defend the law. Although the Golden Law rules this world. But this world does not only have the Golden Law, but also many laws. There is often a mysterious god behind these laws, and there seems to be a relationship of competition and game between the laws. When the world is ruled by one of the laws, the order and laws of the entire world will change. In other words, the law is not only a legal system, but also a law force that can shape the world and change the rules of physics. This is too magical. Even the power of law has become a secret material? But how is such a world made? This is completely beyond my cognition. Mengbai is now playing the role of an ordinary fader, a wandering knight returning from another place. The information in her mind is limited and not necessarily correct, but it is enough to realize the magic and uniqueness of this world. Witch? Where's my witch? When Mengbai knew enough, she realized the importance of witches. The magic ring was broken. The king no longer existed. There are so many powerful fated people rushing to the border to embark on the road to becoming king. A small and unknown fated person, without the help of a witch to improve his strength, would never be able to stand out in this adventure, let alone defeat so many powerful competitors to become the new king. This is a small abandoned chapel. And in the corner of the doorway lies a corpse. She has a pretty face, long golden hair, and wears a black witch robe, but at this moment her face is pale, and her body has long been stiff. Witch, she is my witch, my witch. Dead. Mengbai's heart trembled. A strong feeling of sadness, despair, and guilt came up. This is not the emotion of an adventurer, but the emotion from this body. This beautiful and pious witch chose the nameless wandering knight, guided and accompanied him all the way to the border, but died here before the great journey began. The fated one failed to protect his witch. She left a line of last words written in blood. Even if the guidance has been broken, please become the king of Elden. Mengbai silently read the words left by the witch on her deathbed, and felt the deep expectation of this nameless witch, and a strong sense of responsibility emerged in his heart for a moment. Thank you. Please rest assured that I will never let you down. I will definitely become the king of Elden. Meibai made a vow. The sadness in her heart dissipated. Although she knew that losing the witch was a serious matter, she should leave this place first, and then think of a solution. Thinking of this, she pushed open the door of the church. It was dim outside, with dark clouds and a storm, which gave people an ominous premonition, and seemed to foreshadow the bumpy future of the little fated person who lost the witch. The moment she walked out of the church door, she woke up to a message in her mind. From this, she knew that the name of this church was Howang Chapel. A chapel waiting for the king to come. The meaning is very good. After all, I am the protagonist. No matter how hard it is, I will eventually become the king. Meibai felt her confidence lifted and strode out. Chapter 238. The weather near the Howang Chapel was bad and overcast. It was late at night when Meibai came out. Normally, visibility should be very low at this time, but she found that the surrounding environment was not very dark. For example, a large towering castle could be clearly seen in the east. It was separated by cliffs and hurricanes. The straight-line distance was estimated to be 3,000 meters. Of course, this ancient castle located in the storm, on the top of the mountain, was not the most conspicuous, because in the same direction, you can see a giant tree that is 1,000 feet high and more majestic than the mountain. It is impossible to judge the distance. It feels very far away. But you can still feel the sacred height and majesty of the giant tree. It is golden from top to bottom, and the light it emits illuminates the world, making the night that should be pitch dark no longer dark. How spectacular! Whose territory is this giant castle surrounded by the storm? And what kind of place is the golden tree in the distance? Meibai tried to search her memory to find the answer. But the limited remaining memory could not provide more effective information. She didn't think much about it. The most urgent thing was to leave this place. She immediately walked down a staircase, crossed a suspension bridge, and arrived at the entrance of the Howang Chapel. There was a small open space outside. There stood a goddess statue in it. This goddess statue should be the founder of the Golden Dynasty, Marika, the Eternal Queen. When Meibai was about to approach and take a closer look, a very fierce murderous aura suddenly hit her. Her face changed, and she immediately retreated and dodged. I saw a black shadow leap up. Although its body looked bloated and huge, its jumping ability was really amazing. It instantly passed over the head of the goddess statue, and several flashing cold sword lights stabbed down quickly like falling stars. Dang dang. The sound of the sword hitting the hard ground and sparks flying. The monster has already landed at the place where the adventurer just stood. If Meibai had reacted a second or two slower, he would have been chopped to pieces by the monster. When he saw the attacker clearly, he couldn't help but frown and show a disgusted expression. What is this? It's too disgusting. According to the information provided by the monster illustrations, this is a guy called the limb-joined noble. Although it looks like a deformed big spider monster at first glance, if you look closely, you will find that he is actually a weirdo with a lot of bodies and limbs spliced together. Is it a human? Meibai observed the limb-joined noble. He is a young man, with a golden crown on his head and delicate eyebrows. But at least several bodies, and dozens of hands and feet have been spliced together on his body. These hands and feet are big and small, some are shriveled, some are thick, and some even come from birds and beasts, forming more than a dozen disposable twisted limbs, making it look like a spider monster, with a sense of distortion that goes against nature. Be careful, don't look at this limb-jointed noble, because he looks strange. His swordsmanship is quite sharp and powerful. The big boss of Higanbana just lost to his sword. I heard the reminders of several adventurers passing by the hall. Meibai tightened his sword and shielded his hand more vigilantly, staring at the monster in front of him, and shouted loudly, "Hey, who is it? Why attack me for no reason?" Although the expression of the limb-jointed noble was indifferent. But it didn't look like a beast monster without wisdom. When he heard Meibai's question, this guy really spoke, but his voice was hoarse and low. The fated ones who were deprived of blessings and exiled. You shouldn't return. This is a blasphemy against the law. As a descendant of the noble Rodel Golden clan, I must thoroughly purify you abandoned maggots, who want to pollute the sacred land. What the hell? Rodel's Golden clan? Is this what your Golden clan looks like? It's ridiculous. You look so deformed and weird, and you still have the nerve to describe me as a maggot that pollutes the golden law? I think your face is the greatest blasphemy to the golden tree. An angry roar. The limb-joined noble suddenly attacked. Several sword lights whistled and attacked one after another. Meibai quickly used the knight's shield to resist, and felt a huge shock at the moment of being attacked. This feeling was like being hit by a rolling log. The monster's power was greater than expected, and could not be fought head-on. She quickly retreated and distanced herself from him. But the seemingly deformed and bloated body of the limb-joined noble, relying on 6 or 7 legs to move quickly, was much more flexible than expected. This guy also has 6 or 7 hands at the same time. Some of his hands are too short and deformed to fight. He only has 2 relatively normal right hands to hold swords, plus a thick left arm to hold a shield. The 2 swords can always attack from different angles, and they can launch continuous thrusts like a storm at any time, or slash back and forth like a gyroscope, and the shield can easily block any attack from the adventurer. Not only are the moves weird and fierce, the limb-jointed noble has several skills including War Cry and Golden Blessing. The former generates impact through roar, which can not only cause damage, but also shock the adventurer back. The latter will bless the weapon with holy gold energy, making the attack more sharp and difficult to block. Meibai fought with him for several rounds, and was suppressed by this guy throughout the whole process. This guy is definitely not less than the second level of strength, while the adventurer only has the initial combat power of the first level 5 stars. The gap is too big, even with up to 800 years of experience. But Meibai is a dragon after all, not very good at fighting in human form. She lasted less than 10 rounds before being forced into a corner. The gorgeous golden straight sword launched a storm of stabs, and the opponent's dense attack broke through the shield on the spot. One of the swords hit the chest directly, causing irreparable injuries. Damn. This guy's sword is too fast and too tricky. Meibai was very unwilling. I didn't expect to encounter setbacks before the journey even started. First, her witch was killed, and then she encountered such a difficult enemy. With the current strength, there is basically no chance of winning, but surprisingly, although the limb-jointing noble was defeated, the Secret Realm challenge was not over. What happened? Could it be that being defeated is also part of the plot advancement? If so, it would explain why such a strong enemy was encountered at the beginning. Meibai only felt that he had lost control of his body, and was thrown from the cliff into the raging sea. Then he lost consciousness in the cold sea water. He didn't know how long it had been, but it was just a short moment for the adventurer. When he regained a little consciousness, Meibai found himself lying in an unfamiliar place. At this time, a horse with horns on its head slowly walked in front of him. The horse seemed to have spirituality, and was lowering its head to rub against the adventurer. On the horse's back sat a girl, whose face could not be seen clearly. She only heard her soothing in a flat and low voice. "Torrit, don't worry, there is still hope. We finally found it." She got off the horse's back, and squatted in front of the adventurer, to observe for a few times. She was hazy, and saw that she was wearing a brown cloak and a hood. Although her specific appearance could not be seen clearly, she should be a young girl. The girl continued, "This person will definitely pursue the Elden Ring. Even if doing so will go against the Golden Law." Meibai wanted to hear what else she said. But the injury was too severe at this moment. She lost consciousness again. A few seconds later, when she woke up again, she suddenly felt that her body had recovered. She saw that the wounds left in the battle just now had disappeared, and there were 2 exquisite and gorgeous small bottles in her hands. This is Red Dewdrop Holy Grail Bottle, Secret Realm Item, a 3rd level rare item. Introduction. It is said that the Golden Holy Grail has received the Grace Dewdrop. This is a bottle made with reference to the Golden Holy Grail. Red dewdrops can be obtained at the Blessing Place. Using dewdrops can quickly recover from any injuries. Blue Dewdrop Holy Grail Bottle, Secret Realm Item, a 3rd level rare item. It's 2 rare items. One can instantly restore injuries, and the other can instantly restore mana. Wow! What a good thing! Although it is only a Secret Realm item at present, the things in the Secret Realm never come out of thin air. There should be a way to get these 2 items. The adventurers showed eagerness when they saw the Holy Grail bottle. After all, a 3rd level rare item is a valuable good thing, not to mention that the function is so practical, and the quality seems to be higher than the wound medicine gourd of Ashina country. Meibai speculated, it is probably the mysterious girl who saved me and left me 2 Holy Grail bottles. With these 2 treasures to assist, the next adventure will surely be much easier. I don't know what purpose this woman has in helping me. There is no time to think about it. Put the Holy Grail bottle first. She checked the surroundings and learned that this place is called the Drifting Cemetery. Soon after, she found the exit. When she walked up the stairs and slowly opened the door, she saw the light from outside shining in immediately. It was already daybreak. The view ahead was very wide. A shocking picture appeared before our eyes. Whether it was the experienced adventurer of Miracle City, or the little female dragon with 800 years of experience. When faced with the picture before their eyes, they all widen their eyes and open their mouths, with shock and intoxication on their faces. In this game, Old Man Ring, every player pushed the door out of the wandering cemetery. Most of them would be amazed by the mysterious scenery in front of them. The wandering cemetery is located at the commanding height nearby, so you can see the rolling hills, steep cliffs, towering mountains, countless ancient but majestic wonders, and ruins that make people want to investigate. Of course, you can also see the Stonewall City standing on the top of the mountain, and the more distant but mysterious golden tree. This seems to be a beautiful and mysterious realistic oil painting. Miracle City Remake. The map size has been enlarged. The visual depth increases by more than 10 or 20 times, so all the wonders and scenery will be magnified in proportion. The Stonewall City on the cliff in the distance becomes higher, larger, and more majestic. Various ruins are 400 or 500 meters high, creating a stronger visual impact. The golden tree is even more radiant and covers the earth. What a world full of magic and wonders, and at the same time weird and mysterious. The various dilapidated buildings, ancient ruins, giant castles, and other places visible to the naked eye make people have a strong desire to explore. The adventurers will then venture into this vast land. They will learn the story of this land and perform a brand new legend, not to mention a pure newbie like Ming Bai. Even the old adventurers of Miracle City, who have been on many adventures. When they appeared here, they were all excited. The giant castle on the cliff of the distant mountain seems to be the same one I saw in the Ho Wang Chapel just now, but the distance and direction of the castle have changed at this moment. From this, it can be inferred that after being defeated by the limb-joining nobles, I should have been thrown off the cliff and fell into the sea by the limb-joining nobles, and finally washed to this area by the waves, and then I was rescued by the mysterious girl just now. I said it. I want to be the king. How can I die so easily? It seems that the real adventure is about to begin now. From the memory awakened in my mind, it can be known. This is an area called Nimfu at the junction. Meibai admired the scenery for a few minutes, and then walked out of the drifting cemetery. She soon found a Blessing Point camp located about 500 or 600 meters away. Blessing is a golden light that only the blessed can see. This golden light can not only quickly heal the blessed and restore their strength, but also guide and even teleport. Fated people tend to gather near the blessing to rest and form a camp. It is said that near the blessing, fated people cannot fight each other, otherwise they will lose the ability to use the blessing. Therefore, the Blessing Point is relatively safe. Although it cannot resist the threat of non-blessed people and monsters, at least there is no need to worry about being stabbed by other fated people. At this moment, although this blessing camp is simple, but there are more than 10 or 20 people gathered in it. Some are warriors holding katana, some are swordsmen holding double scimitars, some are dressed as stargazers, and some are dressed as knights. They are all ragged and tattered, and it is not difficult to judge from their golden eyes that they are all fated people. Some faders are followed by witches, but most people seem to have not found their own witches yet. The biggest difference between the Miracle City version of Old Man Ring and the original is that a lot of details and rich content are added. Although faders are not rare in the game, almost every NPC or boss feels ordinary when seeing the protagonist, and it is not difficult to see from the opening that there are actually thousands of faders. But in the game, there are actually very few faders that players can come into contact with. The faders that appear are all relatively representative. The world of Old Man Ring produced by Miracle City is very different in this regard. There will not only be famous NPCs and plot characters here, but also a considerable number of ordinary fish faders. Most of the blessing points will form camps, and various fish faders will be randomly refreshed in the camps. And these fish, 95% are cannon fodder. But there are also a few that will come with side quests or have special functions. The biggest advantage of Chi-Ji's arrangement is that it can greatly enrich the content of the secret realm, with more branches and interactive people, and the border area, which has been enlarged dozens of times, will not seem so empty. Of course, it can also improve the experience. After all, whether the other ATI are small fish or have good skills and strength, they only have one life, and they will be gone if they die. It is impossible for them to go through the main line alone, and they can't even affect the main line, while adventurers can be resurrected and try and fail. There are these tragic, cannon fodder like ATI as a foil. Provide emotional value and atmosphere group when necessary. Adventurers will not only feel more involved, they will also feel superior and refreshed. In this way, this extremely difficult journey that requires constant suffering and abuse will have a contrast and comfort, and under Chi-Ji's reset, The fated people will not only fight each other, but also have the possibility of cooperation. Of course, 90% of the fated. It's just that the value of cooperation at the bottom of this world is not high, and may even cause trouble. After Mainbai activated the blessing in the blessing camp, she quickly got to know the local fated people. Most of these fated people had just returned to the border from the outside world. There were also some local prisoners, or former non-gold believers, who had died long ago, and were recently blessed and resurrected. These people have very little information, or they are potential competitors, and they are more or less wary of each other. Mainbai failed to get valuable information from them, and at this time other adventurers in the adventure hall reminded her that there was a special person in the camp. This person stood alone outside the camp away from the blessing, with a lantern under his feet, a gray turban on his head, and a pale mask, giving people a mysterious feeling. This is a guy named Fan Lei. This person has a strange temper, and may not be a fated person, but is most likely a local of the border. If you want to obtain useful information, this Fan Lei is obviously more valuable than other fated people. When Mainbai told him about his situation, Fan Lei said sarcastically, "Oh, you are also a new fated person. You are eager for the Elden Ring, so you came to this border? I know at a glance that this is definitely the case." Mainbai asked, "My witch was unfortunately killed. Do you know how to find other witches?" "What? You have a witch, and the witch died." Fan Lei shook his head and said, "That's really sad. Each witch can only choose one fated person to assist her, and once the choice is made, there is no way to change it. There has never been a situation where two witches choose the same fated person." "What? You mean, I can't find a witch anymore?" Yes, without the company of a witch, no one to interpret and guide you, you can't get the power of Rune, and it's impossible to be invited to the Round Table Hall. It seems that you can only die in obscurity. This guy is weird and gloating. He really deserves a beating. Mainbai gritted his teeth. Resist the urge to cut him. After all, his strength is still very weak now. It would be embarrassing if he didn't win. Just ignore the gloating and ridicule. What is the Round Table Hall? Oh, you are asking about the Round Table Hall. It is a place for communication and sharing that only the top faders can enter. It is said that only those who are invited to join can have an audience with the Elden Circle. And you, who are like weeds everywhere, can forget about it. What a hateful guy. However, although he always mocks and attacks people, we have to admit that his words are still valuable. Mainbai is very confused now, and this intersection is very mysterious and quite vast. Without a witch, I don't know where to go. So she asked for advice. You must be able to see the blessing, that is, the golden light that allows you blessers to rest for a while. Fan Lei said, that cluster of light will produce an arc pointing in a certain direction. That is the so-called blessing guidance, and it is also the path you faders should take, or where you should be buried. Although I can't see the blessing, I think the direction the blessing is pointing to must be the city of Stonewell on the cliff. That's the residence of the old and ugly demigod, rejoined Jarek. If you don't know where to go, you might as well try your luck there. Maybe you can snatch the great rune from him. At the end, he smiled evilly. Although Mainbai got a lot of useful information. But I always feel that this guy has bad intentions, and is even full of malice. He attacked me while encouraging me to go to Stonewell City. No matter how you look at it, he has bad intentions. Mainbai began to think. The adventurers outside were also talking about it. Limjoin Greg? A demigod with a magic ring fragment? Sounds like he's not easy to mess with. What's the relationship between this Limjoin demigod and the Limjoin nobles, who ambushed us in the Hoang Chapel? From a geographical point of view, the Hoang Chapel is on the small island west of Stonewell City. Most of the Limjoin nobles are subordinates of this Limjoin demigod. Even his subordinates are so fierce, it's really hard to deal with them. Mainbai couldn't get more information from Fan Lei. So she went back to rest near the blessing and started planning. Although challenging Limjoin Greg now would definitely be courting death, she had to find a way to leave here first and go to the vicinity of Stonewell City. There should be a larger settlement there. Friend, are you going to Stonewell City? At this time, a burly, dark-skinned one-eyed man came over and looked at Mainbai with some pity in his eyes, because he had learned that this was a fated person who had lost his witch. Mainbai asked, You are? My name is Haas, and like you, I am also a fader. The one-eyed man said, My friend and I are going to the Church of Air, where there is a larger camp. I heard that the road is not peaceful. Why don't you join our team? Will it be a trap? Faders come from all walks of life. There is also competition in skills. Of course, there are some who specialize in hunting fellows. After a little thought, Mainbai finally decided to join. After all, As an adventurer, she would not die. She then quickly got to know the 5 faders headed by Haas. These people were faders, who had recently received blessings. Each of them was about the strength of the first level 5 stars, and everyone's level was about the same. As for their origins, they were different. For example, Haas was a reserve of the Rodel Knights, and participated in the battle against the hybrids in the Weeping Peninsula. His blind left eye was injured by the poisonous claws of the hybrids. Later, he was expelled and died outside because of the disappearance of the blessing. In addition, there is a woman in the team. She is the stargazing apprentice Sevilla, who was a young apprentice at a small observatory in the Linnea Lake district. Because the stars stopped moving one day, the observatory was abandoned, and the Academy War and the decline of the Kalia royal family forced her to leave. In the end, she was imprisoned and executed by the knights of the royal city for refusing to believe in the Golden Law. Mainbai was very puzzled. This is not normal. A prisoner who refused to believe in the Golden Law was executed. Now he has received the blessing of gold and resurrected? Now everyone has the qualifications to pursue the King of Elden? It seems that after the Elden Ring was broken, some unknown problems have occurred in the laws that rule this land. The other 3 also have their own origins, although each has his own story and experience. But these people don't look like bad people. In any case, this world makes people feel particularly unsafe. It is always more efficient to travel with someone than alone, and in the process, you can get to know them and the world better. A few minutes later, the 6 faded people set off. The Church of Aerie is the only way to Stonewell City. It is not far from this camp to the church. If you follow the main road, it will take less than an hour. If you take a detour, the distance will be longer, but you may encounter various terrible beasts, mountain monsters, sea monsters, or Caden mercenaries who kill and rob. However, there are risks in taking the main road. Because there have been frequent fading groups harassing Stonewell City recently, although they cannot pose a threat to this majestic city, it also makes Greg very annoyed, so he sent a lot of soldiers to clear out the faded people nearby. You may encounter Greg's soldiers on the main road. Several faders discussed with each other, and finally decided to take the main road. This place is far away from Stonewell, and the probability of Greg's soldiers appearing is not high. Even if there are, there should not be too many. Mainbai joined the team, and set off on the journey. In this process, she also obtained a lot of intelligence information from several companions. Mainbai was more and more shocked at this moment, because she forgot her identity several times. In a trance, she felt that she seemed to have really become a fader, and a member of this world. This world is too mysterious and too real. There are details and magic that make people immersed in it. Mainbai didn't feel like she was exploring a secret realm at all, but had completely crossed into a story. She had to admit that the secret realm of Miracle City was indeed powerful, and the Lord's artistic and creative level was very high, simply to the point of being amazing. Now it was just the beginning, and she didn't know what discoveries would be made next. The group advanced 4 or 5 kilometers. There was no danger in the process. But just when everyone felt that they would arrive at the Church of Aerie safely, from the hillside in front, a dull sound of horse hooves suddenly came, and then a huge golden figure jumped up from behind the hill, attracting everyone's attention at the first time. This was a heavily armored knight. The whole body was covered with heavy golden plate armor, with intricate tree patterns and religious reliefs carved on it, and a cloak with worn edges and golden tree emblems. The warhorse he sat on was dressed in armor, and he wore a barrel-shaped full-cover helmet with feathers or pointed corners on the top. Only the eye slits were exposed on his face, and his pair of golden eyes were full of majesty. What is this? This outfit is the Great Tree Guard. They are obviously knights guarding the golden tree. How could such beings appear in ninja form? Haas's expression was shocked at first, and then became horrified. Run. The Great Tree Guard had obviously discovered these faded ones a long time ago. His majestic golden eyes were full of murderous intent, and his horse neighed loudly, and then rushed directly from the bottom of the hill. Fast, too fast, each Great Tree Guard is a top knight. Their powerful riding skills and top-level horses are enough to easily catch up with any prey. Mingbai, no, he's too fast. We can't escape on our 2 legs. We can only fight him to the death. She thought, what's there to be afraid of? I am determined to become the King of Elden. It's okay to be defeated by an amputee noble who claims to be a descendant of the Golden Clan. How can I be so scared of running away when facing a tree guard? Isn't it just a knight? Kill it. I have a 6-to-1 advantage. Chapter 239. When the tree guard rushed down the hill with the force of thunder. A single person riding alone was like a thunderbolt, giving people a feeling of being unstoppable. The fated person found that there was really no possibility for him to escape, and immediately wanted to set up a formation to resist the impact, but it was too late to react at this time, because the tree guard was already close at this moment. Stop him! Mengbai realized that to deal with cavalry, especially this kind of heavy cavalry, he must first force the opponent to stop successfully, and as the only fated person holding a shield, he was the one who took the responsibility. Bang! The impact force was not like that of a cavalry. It was more like a mammoth or a heavy dump truck. Mengbai was knocked away dozens of meters, and his internal organs were damaged on the spot, and many bones were shattered. Although he still had a breath, he had lost most of his life, and completely lost his combat effectiveness. This body is still too weak. With the current strength of the adventurer in the secret realm, resisting the tree guard head-on is not much different from trying to stop a chariot with a mantis arm. Kill! As a former reserve knight of Rodel, and a veteran who has participated in many battles, Haas is undoubtedly not weak in actual combat. When the tree guard knocked Mengbai away and his body paused slightly, he seized an opportunity to attack, raised his slightly rusty sword with both hands, and rushed forward to chop the tree guard. But what came towards him was a golden halberd more than 3 meters long. On the broad halberd blade, the inscribed runes lit up one after another, exuding an indestructible aura. A terrifying force that could not be resisted easily shattered the sword like destroying a piece of rotten wood, and the remaining power tore the old armor and fresh flesh, ruthlessly splitting the weak fated one in front of him in half. Stargazer Sevilla's spells were ready. Raising the staff that glowed with brilliant blue light, she drew a magic circle above her head. With a whistling sound, a 3-foot-long magic sword condensed and took shape, and flew at an extremely fast speed towards the tree guard, who knocked Mengbai away and killed Haas. The tree guard quickly raised the golden shield with a roaring beast head relief in his left hand. At this moment, a large number of runes lit up on the shield, and it glowed with golden light. Combat skill, golden return. The magic sword was bounced back by a powerful force field the moment it touched the shield, and it pierced Sevilla's heart at a faster speed than it was shot. Her pupil shrank, and she looked terrified, and finally fell down powerlessly. Another one died. The tree guard appeared and knocked one away, and killed 2. The morale of the other 3 collapsed directly, and they didn't care about so much and ran away separately. Humph, you are indeed a group of fated people without any honor. Your ambition to meet the Elden Ring is an unforgivable blasphemy and a great sin. The tree guard dragged his heavy body and jumped 2 meters high, dozens of meters away, and crushed a fated person to death on the spot. The halberd cut off the head of another fated person with the force of a hurricane. The last fated person was an agile thief, and he had escaped for a distance. The tree guard reversed the halberd and threw it out quickly, piercing the fated person's body. The huge force first flew him a distance, and finally nailed him to a big rock. So far, 5 of the 6 teams have died, and 1 has been injured. As the only survivor, Mengbai was already struggling to death and had no fighting power, but at this moment he stood up again, and saw that the broken bones were repaired quickly, and the injuries were healed instantly at an astonishing speed. Imitation of holy relics? The tree guard found a red dewdrop holy grail bottle in the adventurer's hand. Mengbai was also confused. After she was hit, and seriously injured and unable to move, she thought of the holy grail bottle at the first time. She just drank the red dewdrops to recover from her injuries, but in just a few seconds, the other 5 teammates died. The tree guard rode the warhorse and jumped up again, pulling out the halberd from the nail thief fading, and its huge body quickly enveloped Mengbai, giving her a sense of oppression of facing thousands of troops alone. Bang bang bang. They fought for 2 or 3 rounds reluctantly. The golden halberd attacked at a tricky angle, smashing the shield in his hand on the spot, and then used the halberd tip to pierce his chest and lifted him up. This is your end. The tree guard lifted Mengbai up high and threw him down heavily. Finally, he used the powerful iron hoof of the warhorse to trample him into a pile of mincemeat. Violent and brutal. This is the tree guard. Challenge failed. Rating for this adventure, C medium. Miracle City's first secret realm death finally came. Several adventurers watching the battle spoke up to comfort Mengbai, who had left the secret realm. Don't be discouraged, little sister. From the information provided by the illustrations, this is a rare monster of the 2nd level and 5 stars. At present, at least 1 or 202 or 3 level bosses have challenged it, and none of them have succeeded, including Baihajusher and Bianhua. The adventurers killed by the tree guards will soon surround our Miracle City. This road is impossible to go. I advise you not to force yourself. Although taking a detour will take more time, it will be easier to reach the air church. I have to say, Although this border is full of mystery and fun, it feels like another painful journey similar to Ashina. Level 2 5 stars is not a very high level. However, because it is a rare species, the tree guard will be stronger than most monsters of the same level. The gap between the first level 5 stars and the early adventurer is too big, of course. Cross-level challenges are slim and extremely difficult. But if you have to challenge across levels, the success rate of challenges in the low-level period will definitely be greater than that in the high-level period. For example, the success rate of level 1 challenging level 2 is definitely higher than that of level 2 fighting level 3, and the latter will definitely be much higher than level 3 fighting level 4. As for the success rate of cross-level battles above level 4, it can basically be ignored. Because the higher the level, the greater the span of strength, the more difficult it is to cross the gap in combat power. Although the tree guard is very strong, it is not without hope of challenge. This is like the fight against Ashina Jinakairo in the prologue of Ashina Country. Although the difficulty is extremely high, it may not be impossible to fight if you have to fight to the death. Very interesting and challenging. I have never encountered such a secret realm. Mingbai felt that she was not hit, but had a stronger fighting spirit. She likes secret realms that are interesting, meaningful and challenging, and these three are often difficult to coexist. Secret realms with fun and interesting mechanisms are usually difficult to make meaningful or challenging. As for challenging secret realms, there are actually many such secret realms, because the dungeon lores are full of malice. If it is difficult for the sake of difficulty, it is actually very easy to make the secret realm impossible to pass. This secret realm in Miracle City is different. The tree guard itself is a very precious monster. If the adventurer can get the spirit of the tree guard, it will definitely become a top-level second-level spirit, and there will be brave men under the great reward, and the value of the spirit is enough to make the adventurer willing to die. Moreover, although the tree guard is very strong, it is not completely hopeless to defeat it. Even if you really can't win or don't want to fight, you can take a detour. In other words, the choice of whether to challenge this strong man is in the hands of the adventurer himself. Adventurers can take a detour, and it won't be too late to come back and challenge this existence after their equipment and strength grow. This point can show the pattern of the Miracle Lord. What attracts Mingbai even more is the world view of the story of the Elden Ring. Although what she has seen so far is only the tip of the iceberg, she can feel that this will be a very unique journey full of gains and surprises, and at the same time an eye-opening journey. Now the most important partner, the witch, died at the beginning. First, she met the noble with strange swordsmanship, and then met the tree guard of the golden tree. This world is really full of malice. It must stop me from becoming the king of Elden. Give up? No way. Mingbai felt that the more she was abused, the more rugged the road was, the stronger her fighting spirit was. These setbacks and hardships were the test of the road to becoming a king. If she couldn't even overcome this difficulty, what kind of king of Elden would she be? No hesitation. Entered the secret realm again. She appeared again in the blessed camp near the drifting cemetery. I'm back. Mingbai looked around. She died once, and most of the time in this border area had passed. There were more than 10 fated people in this camp, and there were several new faces among them. Haas, Sevilla, and the others didn't show up. It seems that only I, as an adventurer, can constantly revive or reset the border. Other characters will completely disappear from this world once they die. In other words, unless this world is completely reset and the story is restarted, Haas and his friends will never appear again in this border where they are. She realized that every fated person has his own story and experience, some of which will definitely trigger important plots or clues. If these fated people or secret characters die, the related plots will also disappear. New fated people should be constantly spawned in each blessed camp. The appearance of these fated people should be random. There are at least more than 1,000 people in Miracle City who are currently wandering in the border, and the fated people that everyone encounters in the Wandering Cemetery blessed camp are different. The random emergence of ordinary fated people is one of the biggest features of the Miracle City version of the Old Man Ring. As for who can be spawned, it all depends on probability or luck. More than 90% of them are useless trash, or troublesome people with ill intentions, extremely vicious, and only want to cheat and rob ruin, and the latter are equivalent to a wild monster when encountered in the wild. But occasionally, there will be some fated people with special items, special side plots, or strong and special abilities. This setting not only increases the fun of random events and blind box opening, but also makes the world look more substantial and meaningful without affecting the main storyline of the world. Continue. Second challenge, death. Third challenge, still death. Fourth, fifth, 11th, Mingbai challenged the tree guard 10 times in a row, and the result was the same every time. However, As the number of battles increased, with her strong talent and analytical ability, she now has a sufficient understanding of the fighting style, skills, and attack methods of the tree guard. At the beginning, she could only last 2 or 3 rounds. The last 2 times, she lasted for 20 or 30 rounds. Mingbai even sees the flaws and gaps and launched several counterattacks against the tree guard, but the armor of the tree guard was very strong, so she failed to cause effective damage. Although this tree guard is strong, it still has weaknesses. After 11 battles, Mingbai has collected enough data and information, so she did not rush to enter the secret realm again after exiting the secret realm this time. She sat down and began to meditate. As a prophet ancient dragon, Mingbai has a very strong wisdom talent. At this moment, she began to build a battlefield in her mind, analyzing and disassembling the dozen battles she had just experienced frame by frame, and then deducing and simulating the battle. The habitual attack routines of the tree guard emerged in her mind one by one. These include charging and slashing, jumping and smashing, jumping and chopping, rapid 3-combination slashes, shield shaking the ground, halberd dragging and slashing, etc. Every detail is restored in meditation, using these actions again and again to find flaws and opportunities that can be exploited. A few minutes later, Mingbai opened her eyes, and her eyes lit up. She felt that she had found a way to deal with the tree guard. Although this monster is very powerful, it contains a way to defeat it, but it requires good use of the terrain and some luck. Mingbai didn't have time to try again. Wow! It worked! It worked! The tree guard was defeated. He is indeed a big boss. This was the enthusiastic cheers of adventurers from one direction of the secret hall. Mingbai couldn't help but be surprised. Someone actually defeated the tree guard faster than herself? Miracle City adventurers are really talented, out of curiosity. She went to find out the situation. This person was Wanshan Guhong, a 4th-level adventurer in Qingshan City. Wanshan Guhong also challenged the tree guard many times in a row and had a sufficient understanding of the tree guard's moves. However, his victory over the tree guard was more due to luck, because in the last challenge, a 2nd-level mage was spawned in the blessing of the Wandering Cemetery. This fated person not only has excellent equipment, but also is proficient in multiple magics. Wanshan Guhong successfully teamed up with him, and recruited several fated teammates with good strength. He himself is also a top adventurer. In the end, after a hard fight, and at the cost of many deaths, he successfully won the victory. However, although Wanshan Guhong became the first adventurer to kill the tree guard, he did not get any loot or rune from the tree guard, because he was attacked when he was about to pick up the loot. He was pierced from behind by a powerful pyroxene comet. The attacker was none other than the 2nd-level fated mage, who had just fought side by side, and defeated the tree guard together. The latter's motive was not difficult to guess, but he just wanted to take the rune and the loot for himself. Was he ambushed? The fated ones are really untrustworthy. However, this is normal. The border area is now a chaotic place, and all the fated ones are in competition with each other. When facing a common threat, they may be able to join forces for a short time. But once it's time to share the benefits, there is a high probability that the fated ones will turn against you and backstab you. When this happens more often, adventurers will be more vigilant, or simply act alone. After all, there are only so many resources and equipment, and only by eating them all can you ensure the maximum growth. When Wanshan Guhong exited the secret realm, this adventure received a B-level rating. This rating is okay, and because it is the first pass, the tree guard spirit was successfully exploded. Profit. What a good spirit. Wanshan Guhong was very satisfied with the harvest, and decided to replace his 2nd-level spirit. He believed that with a powerful tree guard contract, his strength would definitely be improved. Other adventurers all showed envy. At the same time, everyone learned about the impact of death in the Ring of Magic. If an adventurer is killed at the border, he will release all runes at the moment of death, turning himself into a mist and disappearing on the spot, which is seen by other fated ones as some kind of escape spell. In other words, when an adventurer dies, he will lose all his runes as a death penalty. He can get his runes back if he consumes Miracle City contribution points. For other people in the border area, it is assumed that the adventurer has escaped, so they will not be surprised if they meet again next time. The first kill of the tree guard is no longer available. However, Mingbai does not care much about this. The reason why she is happy to challenge the tree guard is not for the honor of the first kill, but to enjoy the fun of the battle itself, so she quickly returned to her own border area. Continue. Another round of challenges begins. The first time, death. The second time, death. The third time, he still died. He died 5 times in succession. Mingbai became more and more brave and familiar with the moves of the tree guard. Now he can easily avoid the seemingly powerful and fierce attacks again and again. Look at her fighting performance. It's like watching a butterfly dancing in the storm. This naturally attracted the attention of a large number of adventurers. Soon, 100 or 200 people gathered near the secret crystal, and these were all victims abused by the tree guard. Wow, who is this big guy? He is so powerful. I have never seen anyone who can last so many rounds in front of the tree guard. Yes, even the big guys like Higanbana and Baihajusher can't do it at present, and this big guy is just like the roundworm in the stomach of the tree guard, and he knows his moves like the back of his hand. Mao Mingming, Mingweishua's challenge is over now. The two also came to watch during the break. When they found out Mingbai's identity, Mao Mingming was very surprised. Hey, isn't this Xiaobai? She's so powerful. Mingweishua, do you know this big guy? Cat Mingming, Minbai is an adventurer who has just come to Miracle City. I didn't expect that the cute little girl is so powerful. You can't judge a person by his appearance. There will be another big guy in Miracle City. The 6th challenge, 200 or 300 adventurers have gathered near the crystal. Baihajusher, Sanju, Minjingsu and other well-known adventurers also heard that someone was fighting against the tree guards alone. They were curious and came to check. Minbai could hear waves of encouragement, cheers and praises while fighting. This gave her a stronger fighting spirit. We must defeat him today. Minbai has challenged the tree guard 17 times in total. Now she knows every move of the tree guard like the back of her hand. She used the terrain to fight with him for 20 minutes, and launched multiple counterattacks to cause certain damage. At this time, a sword successfully stabbed the horse's leg. The mobility of the tree guard was obviously reduced, which made the adventurer's eyes light up. Good job. Hold steady, you must hold steady. This time you have a chance to win. The tree guard was also in a rage at this moment. This fated one was obviously weak, but as cunning as a loach, and accurately predicted his movements and attacks every time. The golden law is above. I will defend the honor of the golden tree to the death. I will never allow the dirty faders to tarnish the great golden tree. The tree guard let out a hysterical roar, and at the same time, a burst of golden light was released from his body, covering his weapons and armor. This is the golden tree vow, which can increase attack power and defense power for a period of time. He is buffed. You can't fight him head-on. Minbai has fought with the tree guard for so long that she knows very well what attacks the tree guard can take and what attacks he can't block, and the tree guard's prayer magic and combat skills are not complicated. He roared and dragged the golden halberd. In the process, it rubbed the ground and swept out a circle of flames. Minbai had been prepared for a long time. Before the opponent made a dragging action, he had already calculated the attack radius, so he dodged in time, and at the same time swung the sword to stab another horse leg. After a few rounds of fighting, the movement of the tree guard was getting weaker and weaker. At this time, the effect of the golden tree oath was about to disappear. Minbai knew that the moment the skill effect disappeared, the tree guard would fall into a very short period of weakness, and this might be the time to launch a counterattack. At this time, the tree guard burst out 3 consecutive slashes again. Fast, too fast. The golden halberd swept back and forth with the force of a hurricane, and the strong wind it engulfed and raised could even cut the weeds several feet away. This attack consumed a lot of physical strength, so the afterswing was also quite obvious. Just at this time, the buff it blessed also disappeared. The tree guard fell into a short period of weakness. Although it was only a short moment, Minbai, who had planned it long ago, seized the opportunity. She quickly stepped forward and stabbed with all her strength, hitting the armor that was cut on the chest. With a puff, a lot of blood sprayed out. The sword blade pierced the fatal point in an execution manner. The tree guard used his last strength to sweep the halberd again, but Minbai predicted it in advance and successfully dodged it, and this powerful opponent finally fell down completely in reluctance. The enemy has been defeated. A subtitle-like prompt appeared in his mind. The tree guard's body turned into golden light and evaporated at a very fast speed. The moment Minbai defeated the tree guard in a single challenge, the adventurers watching outside cheered like a tsunami. All of them were dormant by this thrilling battle. Minbai is awesome. He is really hidden. He defeated the second level with the first level. This is too awesome. It is really amazing. The wolf uncle of Ashina country also has a secret skill of fighting with a knife, and Minbai did it completely based on accurate prediction and insight. This is really awesome, I am convinced. Minbai faced the fallen tree guard. She also had a deep respect for him. Although it was just a secret monster, he was indeed a loyal knight. He fought even at the last moment of his life, and left behind a pile of runes and a trophy after his death. Runes should be a materialized soul energy. It is the most common and important universal resource in this world. It can be used to enhance the strength of the fated ones, and is also a currency in this world. As for the trophy, it was a gorgeous golden shield. Golden tree shield, secret item, tier 3 equipment. This shield is definitely one of the best equipment for the tree guard. It is a tier 3 equipment with very strong defense, and can completely withstand the bombing of a small missile. Not only that, it comes with the secret skill Golden Return. This is a prayer spell that can eliminate the power of other prayers or magic, and can also rebound offensive skills, so it plays a very important role in actual combat. The only drawback is that it is too heavy. Although the shield size was optimized in proportion to the adventurer's body after it fell into the hands of the adventurer, it was still difficult for Mingbai to use it flexibly with his current physical strength. Finally 1. In order to defeat this powerful enemy, Mingbai suffered nearly 20 times. This caused the exploration progress of the border area to be much slower than other adventurers. At this time, 200 or 300 adventurers had arrived at the air church, and some had triggered an important plot and met Melina, the mysterious girl who saved the adventurer in the drifting cemetery. Melina not only gave the adventurer a spirit horse named Torret, she also has the ability of a witch, which can replace the dead witch and enhance the adventurer's strength. Adventurers will gain powerful mobility with spirit horses, and after strengthening their strength, the difficulty of challenging the tree guard will definitely be much lower, so theoretically there is no need to fight so hard. But Mingbai didn't regret it at all. This feeling of victory after suffering made her feel a long-lost sense of refreshment and pleasure, and the admiration, exclamation and pursuit of adventurers outside provided full emotional value. It is worthy of being a miracle city that can quickly become popular. The charm of this dungeon is unprecedented, and it is really interesting. At this moment, Free City Secret Realm. Going out to sea on a cruise ship again. Boss Chi was fishing and relaxing on the luxury cruise ship. When he saw Mingbai through the Lord's vision, the wandering knight with the initial blank board actually defeated the tree guard without fear of difficulties. He was also very surprised. This girl is really not simple. With such people joining Miracle City, the adventures in Miracle City will be more lively in the future. The number of adventurers who have entered the border area has reached more than 2,000. Because of the emergence of the extremely difficult secret realm of the border area, the income of soul crystals generated in the secret realm today has increased a lot, and despite the crazy abuse, the mental power generated by the border area is very considerable. For example, Mingbai alone has generated nearly 300 mental powers. The more mental power is produced, the more fun it is. This once again fully shows that whether it is human adventurers or these natives, they are more or less a bit of a masochistic physique. The more they are abused, the more pleasure they produce. This process can increase a lot of income for the territory. Chi-Ji pulled the rod to pull a big fish out of the sea. He nodded with satisfaction. Today will definitely be a day of great harvest. After all, not only the border area is in full swing, but also several other secret realms have made considerable progress and breakthroughs. Chapter 240. At this moment, in the border area, Mingbai successfully activated the blessing point of the Airy Church. This is a dilapidated abandoned church, which is much larger than it looks in the game. The courtyard formed by the ruins is a natural shelter, allowing travelers to form a large camp with this as the center. A large number of fated people and other travelers who came to the border gathered here. For example, Mingbai found a special person named Ka Lai under the reminder of other adventurers. This person sat alone behind a big pillar in the corner of the Airy Church away from the blessing. He was wearing a red coat and a red hat and a mask, and was followed by several donkeys full of goods. According to the conversation, Ka Lai came from a group called the Wandering People. This people did not believe in the Golden Law, and had been very cruelly suppressed. The survivors fled the border. However, since the Elden Ring was broken, the Golden Tree dynasty believed in the Golden Tree, and the people who had the blessing suffered some kind of backlash. At this moment, most of them have become zombies or lunatics with abnormal brains. Rodel's rule over the border has been greatly weakened, so many wandering ethnic merchants have taken the opportunity to return to the border. Kale is one of them. He now earns runes by doing business with the fated people. Simply put, these wandering people who appear regularly at various blessing points or randomly in the wild are mobile shops, from which you can buy some practical equipment, tools, consumables, etc. There are more fated people in the blessing point camp of the Air Church. If there is enough time to deal with them, you may dig out a lot of useful intelligence or side quests from them, And you may also get to know some fated people who can be used, but Mingbai did not stay here for too long. Time is running out for this adventure. We need to solve the problem of no witch as soon as possible. As she repeatedly challenged the tree guards, other adventurers have already found a solution. In fact, it is very simple. Just activate 3 blessings in the ninjafu area, and then choose to rest in the blessed land to trigger it. At that time, a girl named Melina will appear in front of you. This girl has no entity. She exists in the form of a spirit. It was the mysterious woman who saved the adventurer in the drifting cemetery, and gave the dew-drop holy grail bottle. Mingbai immediately went to the nearest blessing point, according to the map Lucien, and the information provided by other adventurers. In the game, the adventurer wants to trigger Melina. Generally, it is either at the ruins blessing point in front of the level of Stonewall City, or it appears at the blessing point near Huanyakir by taking another road. The intersection area created by Miracle City is larger. Therefore, in order to ensure the adventure experience and efficiency, some small blessing points are added in the wild, so most adventurers can trigger the plot without running to the front of the level or around Yakielu. Mingbai went thousands of meters towards the direction of Stonewall City. A forest appeared in front of them. These ordinary trees were not magical, but probably because they grew in the land ruled by the Golden Law, they were affected by the golden trees, and their leaves were also golden brown. Looking from the top of the hill, at least tens of thousands of acres of forests were full of lush trees more than 10 or 20 meters high. Countless golden brown leaves showed the texture of oil paintings, and the forest was very deep and quiet, and occasionally the roar of wild beasts could be heard. Mingbai knew from the intelligence. This forest was located between the Air Church camp and the outer city checkpoint of Stonewall City, which means that as long as you pass through this forest, you can reach the front checkpoint of Stonewall. Because this forest is one of the must-pass areas to Stonewall, a considerable number of soldiers sent by the Linjoining demigod, Grek, to hunt down the fated ones, chose to patrol or ambush in it, which made it a little difficult to pass through. However, there is a hidden blessing point outside the dense forest. As long as the adventurer activates the blessing point in advance, even if he is ambushed by Grek's soldiers while crossing the forest, he can be resurrected nearby to minimize the impact on efficiency. Boss! We're almost there. The hidden blessing point is 500 meters away at 8 o'clock. As long as you get close, you can see the light of blessing. Mingbai spent some effort to figure out the specific direction of the so-called 8 o'clock direction of Miracle City. According to the navigation of the adventurers outside, she quickly found a striking blessing light in the dark forest. Approaching. This is a ruin in the forest. Unlike the previous blessing points. Perhaps because the environment here is too dangerous and easy to be discovered by Grek's soldiers, there is no camp here, and there is no shadow near the blessing. Activate the blessing, sat down and chose to rest for 1 hour. When Mingbai opened her eyes again, it was later and her condition had fully recovered. When she was about to get up, she suddenly saw a figure in the forest in front of her with dots of energy. This person's body gradually transformed from virtual to real, and the spiritual energy surrounded his body. It was not difficult to see that it was a soul body. Who is it? Mingbai clenched his weapon and asked knowingly. My name is Melina, I want to make a deal with you. The girl Melina, wearing a black robe, walked to the blessing, knelt on one knee, and slowly took off her hood with her hands, revealing a head of short pink-brown hair, plus a face that did not look stunning, but quiet and pretty. This girl gave Mingbai a very strange feeling. She had a deep and steady look that didn't match her cute appearance and age. Her right eye was light gold, symbolizing her relationship with the golden tree, while her left eye was closed with black scar-like runes around it. What happened to her left eye? Mingbai felt that this eye seemed to contain some special power. You are the one who saved me before, right? What is your purpose in approaching me? Melina, your witch is gone. The finger witch is the one who serves the 2 fingers, and is ordered to help guide the fated ones. Each witch will only choose one fated one, and each fated one will only be chosen by one witch. You are now longing for the Elden ring, but without the witch by your side, this is a goal that is impossible to achieve. And I can replace the witch's duties and serve you. Mingbai asked, why do you want to help me? Melina said lightly, I said this is just a deal. I will replace the witch to transform the power of Rune for you, and you have to take me on a journey and finally reach the foot of the golden tree. This is something the fated one cannot refuse. After all, without a witch, you can't break through your strength. And with the current ability of a 5 scum, how can you become the king of Elden? After a conversation with Melina, Mingbai accepted Melina's deal, and immediately started the first rune transformation. Killed many wild animals along the way. He even killed a powerful tree guard. The runes in Mingbai's hand were just enough to complete a round of level upgrade. Melina's runes immediately turned into energy and merged into Mingbai's body. During this process, Mingbai could clearly feel the rapid improvement of his strength. Breakthrough. This rune enhancement is just right. It allows her to directly reach the second level, and 1 star from the first level and 5 stars. It's amazing. Is this breakthrough effect so immediate? I wonder if runes can be realized in the real world. Mingbai was surprised to feel the significantly improved physical strength. If she challenges the previous tree guard with her current physical fitness, her efficiency and chances of winning will definitely increase greatly based on her current understanding of the tree guard. First, fight the monsters to collect runes, then find Melina to strengthen the strength, and then go back to challenge the tree guard. Perhaps this is the right way, and it is also what most other border adventurers are doing. But although it took too much time to fight the tree guard, Mingbai did not regret it. It is indeed a bit sadistic for a low level to fight a high level, but this kind of victory can also get a higher secret realm evaluation, and the emotional value generated after winning is also higher. If you need to convert runes in the future, just call me near the blessing. Melina said this and took out an item from her clothes. Oh, there is one more thing. This ring is for you. It is a spirit horse whistle. A simple golden ring. It exudes powerful spiritual energy. Spirit horse whistle, secret prop, a 3rd level rare item. With it, you can call the spirit horse Tourette. Its speed and endurance will depend on your strength. Whether it is a long-distance trip or crossing rugged terrain, it will become much easier. Melina explained, don't ask why. Tourette chose you, and this is why I came to you, so I hope you can treat it well. That's it, finally got it. Mingbai showed a happy expression. This horse has been used by many adventurers. It is very fast, and can fly over walls, and jump in the air. It is definitely an indispensable partner, and means of transportation for this trip. The most important thing is, this spirit horse will not die. Even if it is killed, as long as the ring that hosts the soul is still there, it can be resurrected at any time with the Dewdrop Holy Grail bottle. Mingbai then had a conversation with Melina. She tried to get more information from Melina, and also tried to figure out Melina's identity and origin. However, Melina was very tight-lipped. She revealed very little information. Perhaps she did not really recognize the adventurer at this moment. After all, the strength and performance of this fated person are not much stronger than other ordinary fated people, and it will never be an easy task to fulfill the promise to take her to the foot of the golden tree. This way, we have to pass through too many dangerous areas and face too many powerful enemies and challenges. Among them are powerful demigods, legendary monsters, and all kinds of unknown dangers hidden in history. Although Melina was unwilling to reveal her origins, and did not give the adventurer more information about this world, she did explain and introduce the nearby Stonewall City. Stonewall City is a giant city standing on a 1,000-meter cliff. It used to be the capital of the Storm King, so it was shrouded by storms that lasted for years, and it is difficult to verify the Storm King. This is an ancient force that existed before the establishment of the Golden Tree Dynasty. It once became a strong enemy of the Golden Clan. After the last Storm King was defeated by the first King Geoffrey, most of its related traces were erased. The limb-joining demigod Grek, who is now entrenched in it, is the descendant of the first Elden King, Geoffrey. Although Grek is a descendant of the Golden family with a good family background, he is not the child of Geoffrey and Marika, but a direct descendant 1 or 2 generations apart, and his bloodline is relatively weak. After Marika shattered the Elden Ring, Grek got the great rune formed by one of the fragments, and then fled after the outbreak of the Fragment War, and hid in the city of Stonewall. Later, he was defeated by the Valkyrie Mernia who passed by here. Although Melina did not know the specific process of this battle, but this battle undoubtedly caused a great blow to Grek. He believed that his body was too weak, and in order to change this, he embarked on the road of limb joining. The so-called limb joining is to splice the limbs of other creatures onto oneself. Greg believes that the more limbs are successfully transplanted, the stronger the power will be. The limb-replaced noble that Mingbai met in the Holwang Chapel is one of the descendants of the Golden Clan who went astray, and there are many monsters like this in Stonewall City. That is to say, this Greg not only has a solid castle and a powerful army, but also has a group of limb-replaced monsters as his subordinates. He himself holds the Great Rune and has been transplanting limbs for many years. No one knows how strong he is now. Mingbai felt a lot of pressure. It's not easy to take down Stonewall City. Judging from Melina's tone, Greg is the only one among the current demigods who is not the biological son of the Eternal Queen Marika, which means that he is probably the weakest and most useless demigod. Every demigod has his sphere of influence and territory. Now even the weakest and most vulnerable can occupy the majestic Stonewell. The difficulty and challenge are indeed very great. Mengbai was not discouraged but instead developed a strong interest. The abilities and means of this world are very unique and have extremely high research value, and the realism and delicateness of this world can also make people immerse themselves. I believe that as long as you work hard to explore, you will definitely get a lot of unexpected gains. There are a lot of knowledge and abilities in it, which may be of great help to her. Before Mengbai could further investigate and explore, she received a prompt from the secret realm that this round of challenge has ended. The adventure has ended. Adventure rating, BA. You have obtained the Golden Tree Shield. It has been shipped. Very lucky. Probably because of the feat of killing the tree guard alone, this high difficulty behavior has improved the adventure rating a lot. The tree guard spirit was not exploded, but the tree guard equipment was exploded. The value of this shield is not inferior to the spirit. The Golden Tree Shield is a third-level equipment. There are not many equipment of this grade in Miracle City at present. Although the properties and materials of the real world have changed to adapt to the laws of the world, the overall change is not big. This is still a very powerful shield, and the attached skill Golden Return has been retained. This shield can not only resist various curses and anomalies, but also rebound offensive spells. Whether it is the shield's own defense or the Golden Tree Return, it has a special bonus effect on attacks of races lower than the Dark Species, Undead Species, Demon Species, etc., and its quality and value are definitely not bad just based on this point. The most important thing is, the Golden Tree Shield is not a rare equipment. Once it is revealed, it will be unlocked in the secret store. Miracle City will have the ability to purchase equipment for the territory guards in large quantities in the future, and it can also be exported as a territory specialty. I believe that such equipment will definitely be very popular. The Golden Tree Shield is very strong and has the ability to rebound spells. Even if it is equipped to the troops of Qianhu City, it is enough to make the defense line of Qianhu City more solid and powerful, and it can reduce a lot of losses when facing the invasion of the Dark Army next time. You know, Qianhu City is a 5th-level force. Even for such a force, it is so effective that it can immediately improve the solidity of the defense line. The high value of this equipment can be imagined. This is just the harvest at the beginning of the adventure. Mengbai believes that his exploration of the border is less than 1/10,000th, and there must be more enemies in this vast border that are far rarer, stronger, and more terrifying than the tree guards waiting for him to challenge. This ancient land has a unique knowledge and cultivation system, a long and profound history and countless stories, and contains countless mysterious equipment, spells, and combat skills. The border is only a part of the Magic Ring world. And the Magic Ring world is only a chapter of the Nightmare Disease world. The Nightmare Disease world is only one of the secret realms of the entire Miracle City. Mengbai has realized the great potential of Miracle City at this moment. This underground city is completely a treasure. Not to mention fully developing this treasure, even if only a part of it is developed, it is enough to make it grow beyond the Thousand Lake City. Maybe. It won't take 2 years. Qianhu City will also be eclipsed by Miracle City. What changes will happen to the relationship between Qianhu City and Miracle City at that time? Anyway, judging from the current situation, among the 18 guardians of Qianhu City, the Lich Vazaros and the Elf Artists have been captured by Miracle City. Mengbai doesn't know what the other elders think. Anyway, Mengbai, the second elder, is not interested in the territory of the Evernight Forest. The reason why she came to Qianhu City was just to use this territory as a base to fight against the Evernight Dragon King. If a force with a better chance of defeating the Evernight Dragon King appeared, she could join it without any psychological burden. Anyway, as long as the goal can be achieved. Besides, this Miracle City is so interesting. After killing the Evernight Dragon King, playing for another 100 or 80 years, wouldn't it be fun? After Mengbai left the secret realm, she was immediately sought after by adventurers. In Miracle City, no matter what your identity is, no matter what honors you have had in the past, as long as you can make a breakthrough in the secret realm of the territory, whether you are a newcomer or a young person like the Black Stonehammer King, you can gain respect and reputation. Mengbai, you are so strong. How did you do it? I didn't expect that you are already a 3rd-level adventurer at such a young age. Mengbai is definitely a super genius. A battle with the tree guard. Mengbai became famous in Miracle City. This little Lolita who looks soft and cute, harmless to people and animals, is at least a 3rd-level adventurer and her level is very high, which is enough to make other Miracle City adventurers respect and flatter, admiration and pursuit of other adventurers. Mengbai also felt very happy. After all, she had accomplished a feat, and the process of achieving this feat was shown directly, which was enough to double the sense of satisfaction, and this was also one of the fun of adventure. Cat Mingming, big brother Xiaobai, do you want to continue the challenge? Mingbai thought for a while and said, don't worry, I don't have much energy, I'm going to take a short break. Her adventurer soul is only level 3, and her energy is almost exhausted after this round of challenges. Instead of returning to the secret realm immediately, it is better to take a break and adjust her state, and by the way, get as much intelligence information as possible. The first thing is of course to find intelligence about the border. Although the adventurers of Miracle City all explored the border on the same day, the directions they chose and the progress of their exploration were different. Mingbai has been fighting against the big tree guards, and her progress is slow among all the adventurers. Many adventurers have come to the ruins in front of the level. Some adventurers explored in another direction, and found a catacomb in the nearby Huanyakiru. This catacomb is called the Catacomb of the Root of the Storm. This should be a common cemetery in the border area. But the adventurers were all stunned by the scene before their eyes. The walls of this tomb were covered with tangled tree roots, and among these tree roots were a large number of remains, which were connected to the tree roots like tumors, and appeared to be absorbed and digested. According to the adventurers' investigation and the records in the tomb, everyone guessed that this was the tree-returning ceremony of the Golden Tree people, which was to bury the remains of the dead in the area where the roots of the Golden Tree were located, and eventually the soul and body of the dead would be absorbed by the Golden Tree. This will not only make the Golden Tree greater and stronger, it can also ensure that the souls of the Golden people will live forever, and even retain their memories and reshape their bodies. Everyone was surprised after learning the truth through the investigation. Doesn't this mean that the Golden people in the border area are actually immortal? As long as the Golden Tree is still there, the soul will never be destroyed, however, judging from the hideous twisting of the tree roots and corpses. This return tree obviously has some problems. This cemetery not only contains a lot of information, but also many tricky monsters, especially a guy called Return Tree Watchdog, which should be the guardian of the purpose. It is very strong and has killed many adventurers. In addition to the cemetery, there are also adventurers exploring the nearby ruins. Some people have found various spells or skills from the ruins and treasure chests. The equipment, combat skills, and magic circulated in the border area are very unique and have great research value. Mingbai was shocked after learning about this series of discoveries from Mingwei Xiaoxue and Mao Mingming. The history, heritage, and richness of this border area are indeed far more exaggerated than imagined. It's been less than a day, so much has been gained. Of course, in addition to exploring the border area, other information about Miracle City is also very important. It's not easy to decide whether to join Miracle City in the future, but Mingbai is still the second elder of Qianhu City now, and she needs to further investigate this territory. Where are these two guys, Bezaros and Artis? Mingbai is very curious about what secret realms these two Qianhu City elders are fighting in Miracle City, and whether they have entered the border area to adventure like her, but she thinks that even if they come, they will only be abused by the big tree guards. You mean Senior Bezaros? I know where he is. Cat Mingming immediately said, I saw his secret crystal when I just came here. Senior Bezaros was exploring the most difficult city Lord Palace in the Sky City of Arad Continent with Xiaonan, Hammer, and Xiaoji. Arad Continent, it seems to be a secondary secret of Miracle City. As for what is the Sky City, Mingbai decided to learn more about it with the mentality of contacting Bezaros and curiosity. When she came to Bezaros' crystal, she found that the secret crystal of this guy was surrounded by spectators, including hundreds of high-level undead who came to cheer. Not far away, there was a large circle of elves around the secret crystal of Nancy Leah. Elves and undead. Two mortal enemy races. Now they appeared in the same place without fighting, but seemed to get along very well, and even cheered for the same adventure. Such a discordant scene is really rare even for Mingbai. Vizeros is a level 28 berserker, Nancilia is a level 26 gunner, Blackstone Hammer King is a level 25 sword soul, and Angry Chicken is a level 25 Qigong master. They are all top-notch experts in Arad among the Miracle City adventurers. Mingwei Xiaoxue introduced Mingbai. The City Lord's Palace we are challenging right now is the most difficult dungeon in the Sky City. Cat Mingming, yes, it is not only filled with various dangerous traps, but also various puppeteers who can control magic puppets, various armored guards who can move on their own and have amazing combat power, various flying dragons, pterosaurs, dragon people, etc. She paused and continued, of course, this is nothing. The most dangerous existence is a guy named Seghard nicknamed the City Lord of Light. Mingbai was curious, oh really? How strong is this guy? Mingyu Xiaoxue, It is said that this Lord of Light is a magical life created by Tyrannosaurus King Bakar hundreds of years ago. Although Tyrannosaurus King Bakar died 500 years ago, Seghard has been ordered to guard the core of Sky City. For hundreds of years, countless strong men have tried to enter the heaven through Sky City, but they all died at the hands of Seghard without exception. Although Seghard's power has declined as the restrictions of Sky City have been weakened, it is still terrifying. The Lord's Palace is the ultimate boss in the second dungeon area of Arad. It not only has super strength, but also has the ability to be immortal and indestructible, and to be resurrected and reborn infinitely. What? Immortal and infinite regeneration. When Mingbai learned about this, he couldn't help but have a strong interest in it. After all, everything in the secret realm is not out of thin air. Since the Lord of Light City has shown this characteristic in the secret realm, it may really have the ability to be immortal. But how is this possible? How was it created? The four people's battle has come to an end, and they are about to challenge the Lord of the City of Light. Mingbai came at the right time. She wanted to see whether this magical creature was just a gimmick or really lived up to its reputation.